the appointment. Ramaphosa faces impeachment over his handling of the theft of US dollars from his farm in Phalaphala in 2020. Lindsay Dentlinger reports.
In his letter only received by the committee chairperson last night, President Ramaphosa says he believes Thandazani Madonsela is conflicted because Ramaphosa removed him from the Judicial Service Commission in 2022 and he has provided legal advice to the ANC in Parliament on the impeachment matter. But parties such as Umkhonto weSizwe, which nominated Madonsela, says Ramaphosa's objections should not be entertained. MK Parliamentary Leader John Perlman appealed to the committee to protect the integrity of its mandate.
We can't have a situation whereby whenever we want to move forward, he puts more and more obstacles. He clearly doesn't want this work to continue at all.
EFF leader Julius Malema says the objection is premature and should be raised only once the inquiry sits.
Typically, him is trying to find another way he can delay this process. So we're not going to agree to that.
Following a majority vote of parties, Parliament's lawyers will now advise the committee on its options following Ramaphosa's objections. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
We take you now to Tim News Justin. Police are now looking for a new suspect linked to the murder of popular DJ Warwick Stock, who was known as DJ Warris. An arrest warrant has been issued for 40-year-old Hlengiwe Buthelezi, who will be the third suspect to be pursued in connection with the murder. Earlier today, alleged mastermind Victor Majola appeared in the Johannesburg High Court, where his case was postponed to September after his lawyer told the court there is still no full financial cover for the estimated 20-day trial. Majola faces charges including premeditated murder and conspiracy to commit murder. His co-accused in the matter accepted a plea deal and was sentenced to an effective 25 years last week. Staying in the courts, former Miss SA contestant Chidima Adechina has been ordered to remain at the same address in the country and report regularly to an immigration officer. Today, the Cape Town Regional Court postponed judgment on her deportation case to February next year. It outlined it cannot make a decision on this case until there is an outcome on Adechina's High Court review on an earlier decision to deport her. Camry Clark reports.
Protesters from the organisation March and Operation Dudula are disgruntled by the Cape Town Regional Court outcome. This follows a further postponement by Magistrate Rima Carano, who says the court cannot make a decision on whether to detain Adechina pending the High Court ruling of the decision to deport her. Adechina has been ordered to remain at the same address and report regularly to an immigration officer. Protesters say they await the final decision on her deportation.
She should be deported because she's a person of non grata. She is Miss Nigeria. She's not like she is stateless.
The crowd is making its way through the CBD as it demonstrates against the court's decision. Camry Clark, Eyewitness News at the Cape Town Regional Court.
And in Brazil, 21 people have been killed in a head-on collision between a bus and a truck. The accident occurred on a highway connecting the southern part of the country with Sao Paulo. According to local media, the passenger vehicle was transporting patients to various medical centers. Authorities have not provided any information about the truck's occupants. Fatal traffic accidents are common in Brazil. 8 people died just on Sunday in the state of Rio de Janeiro when the bus they were traveling in overturned. Gold is trading at $4,348.71 an ounce. The rand is at 16.23 to the dollar, 22.02 to the pound, 18.85 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $91.68 a barrel.
Driving through Germiston heading towards Brakpan roadwork still causing delays on the N17 eastbound between Wits Rifles and Rondebolt. Traffic lights still not working in Edenville, Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeek.
In your sport, Faye Tunnicliffe named in Proteas women's squad for their T20 series against Zimbabwe. Gus Poyet linked with Bafana job amid uncertainty about Pitso Musimane's appointment. And Nick Kyrgios suspended from tennis after testing positive for cocaine.
It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 25 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN is also news just in. Police are now looking for a new suspect linked to the murder of popular DJ Warwick Stock, who was popularly known as DJ Warris.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
You're on 702. Thanks very much for joining us. 7 minutes after 3 o'clock. Lovely having you with us once again. Welcome to the show. We are together till 6 this evening. John Perlman is not here. My name is Thabo Shola Mashao in his stead. And I can't wait to get into various issues with you. We will differ. We won't see things in the same way. We will, I suppose, butt heads every now and then. And that is the nature of the discourse. The entire team is here. I'm not alone. Refuwe together with John or Kabazela. They are in charge of putting the show together. On my side of the window, I have two Garabos. One is Garabo Charlie, who will keep you updated as far as traffic is concerned, which traffic lights to avoid because they're not working, which shortest route to take to your nearest destination. And Garabo Malapile presses all the buttons. She's the technical producer, and she makes sure that the technical bridge between yourself and myself is very, very steady. And of course, you, the main ingredient of the show. Without you, we can't do all of this. So you're the important part. We do it all for you. Let me just give you a bit of heads up as to what to expect on the show this afternoon. The impeachment committee in Parliament has been very busy. Opposition parties have accused President Cyril Ramaphosa of using delay tactics to avoid accountability, as the president has objected to Advocate Thandazani Madonsela's appointment as evidence leader of the impeachment committee, citing conflicts of interest. But opposition parties are not having any of that. They are saying stop delaying tactics, and more importantly, you do not have any right whatsoever to determine who the evidence leader should be. Is he right? Is he wrong? Well, the jury's out as the committee goes out to seek legal opinion on the matter. We will also be in conversation with 91 a little bit later on. And among other things that we have in store for you, we will speak to Karinda of EWN about the Madlanga Commission as to what is the latest. You know that Fidel Abrams is there today, and he has been just pushing very hard that there are recordings that he's got that he must play for the commission. And he's not giving Tlantla Mkhwanazi any break whatsoever, as we might all have expected. Much later on, Afriforum and March and March. Is it a match made in heaven or an unholy alliance? Or a matter of two birds of a feather flock together? After 5, your favorite feature, as far as music is concerned. Do you have any band with a strange name, a weird name of a band or an artist? And which is your favorite song from that particular band? Well, mine is the Goo Goo Dolls, and it's this one.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
A band with a strange name, your favorite song from a band with a strange name. I can think of Peanut Butter Conspiracy, I can think of Toto, and I'm sure you can think of many, many more. So come the time, please send us a text message or a voice note on 072 702 1702. Alternatively, call us on 011 883 0702.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Indeed, I did mention that Refuwe, together with Jonathan Furban, they are in charge of the show. They put the entire thing together. They are the master chefs, if you will. And Karabo Charlie will keep you posted as to what's happening on the road. Of course, Tolagele will also update you on your sporting stuff. Everything sports that you need to know, she'll update us and give us the very latest. Stephen Hortes will come in a little bit later on with business news and everything else, finance and economics. He will share with us the very latest in that space as well. Mbali Dlamini will update us as far as current affairs is concerned on Eyewitness News. Refuwe, hello, I hope you're good.
Good afternoon, the prodigal son, aka Thabo Sholem Mashao, in the building. I've not done that in a while. Allow
Okay.
me. And to the rest of the lovely 702 family. Keshap, how's it going, but? I feel like I've not done that in a while.
Wow.
I needed to give you that.
What did you have before the show?
I needed to gas you up. You know how you're always gassing us up?
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful that you're consistent. And I remember, oops, I still need to be consistent with that. Gas up, although gas is expensive, but you deserve every last cent, my brother.
Thank you so much. I know you don't mean it, but let's all pretend, since we are all pretending, right? Let's all pretend. Are you good?
Wonderful.
Sharp.
Wonderful.
Mr. Charlie?
Yes, sir. I'm good, and you?
All good. Are you guys friends, by the way?
No.
Okay.
During the people he says this. That's fine. I will remind you. That's fine. I'll remind you.
It brings me to the question that I wanted to ask you and everyone else on 702 Land right now about friendship. How loyal do you expect your friends to be towards you? How loyal are you to your friends? For instance, if Refuwe, you and I are good friends, not even best friends, but we're just close friends. If Karabo fights with you, am I expected to inherit the beef? Am I expected now to give Karabo a cold shoulder and just carry that burden for you and say, you're fighting with Refuwe, my friend, so as a result, I'm loyal to her, go away. How loyal do you expect your friends to be?
Thabo, loyalty is very important to me. And the people close to my heart know this. You need to be loyal until death. No, let me explain. You need to be loyal because I'm very loyal. So my thing is, let's say we're during the people and so I'd need your backing. But on the side, when we're together, say, hey, Refer, but you know you messed up here.
Yeah.
But I need you to fight for me because I'm a ride or die kind of person.
Even if you're wrong.
Even if you're wrong, Chief. But
So
I'll
if you
to
stop
the side.
speaking to Jono, I must stop speaking to Jono.
Yes. Where do your loyalties lie?
With the truth.
No,
with
it will set you
integrity.
free, yeah, it will set you free. But whose friend are you? Mine or Jono's? Pick a side. You can't be both our friends. We cannot be on the fence about this. Now, until death, Baba.
And are you also that loyal, by the way? Do you give them?
Ask them.
So
Anyone
you
can call in and
pick
say,
up
I am
stompies
loyal.
of a fight that you know nothing
My
about.
brother,
Just
when I was younger, I used to even get into an actual fight. I used to be like, oh, what did they do? Let's say someone made Karabo angry.
Yeah.
And then I'll just say, Karabo, just point.
Hey.
Karabo point. I will ask no questions. I was younger. I would ask no questions. I'm not proud of this, but I was just saying. But obviously, I don't fight anymore.
Yeah.
But I used to. I used to roll up my sleeves.
We'll take your
and be
word
like,
for that.
I'll get someone to call in to tell you the truth. I mean, looking at me, you wouldn't say that, Thabo.
I see,
Because
I
we all,
see.
you know, we're like onions. We've
So
got
you're
layers.
very loyal. And then when Mr. Charlie?
A friend of an enemy is an enemy. It felt like that.
couldn't have said
A
it better,
friend
my
of an enemy is
Let's
an
go.
enemy.
Yes. So if you are too comfortable with my enemy, I stay there. Don't come back to me.
But what
Because
if I have no beef with your enemies?
never-
We're okay with each other.
you never know what my enemies are telling you about me, or what are you guys skinnering when I'm not there, and then you come and say,
Yeah.
and you won't tell me.
No, but
probably.
it could be that I say, let's not speak about Karabo. He's not here, guys. And let's
But
just
what
leave
are
it
you
at
not
that.
doing
there.
with my
Why,
enemy?
yeah, why are you listening?
Because
Why are
they're
you
not
there?
my enemy.
It's giving Judas Iscariot vibes, eh?
Hey.
No, honestly. It's giving Judas
But
Iscariot.
I mean, must I fight with everyone else who fights with you?
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not saying fight with them. Choose. Ultimatum. Is it either them or me? So yeah.
Okay, what if I knew both of you at the same time?
Again, it's either you're gonna carry on with me or you carry on
Awa.
with my enemy.
Awa,
So we
guys.
draw the line, Baba.
But that's how it is, Thabo. So now I don't want people sitting in a miscellaneous box in my life.
Miscellaneous
you
box.
need to decide,
Auxiliary
are you
box.
in or are you out?
Great. I mean, you tell me. Let's allow our listeners to judge this one. Are you that kind of, what kind of loyalty do you expect from your friends? Must they stop speaking to people that you have just stopped speaking to? And must they pick up your fights, inherit your beef? Must they take your side even if you are wrong? How loyal do you expect your friend to be? Is there a scenario that you can paint for us? Any example where your friend was perhaps not loyal to you and it broke your heart, or where you were extremely loyal to your friend? Please let us know on 072 702 1702, or you could just call us on 011 883 0702. Mr. Charlie, the traffic, bro, how does it look right now?
Well, at this stage, if you are leaving Germiston heading towards Brakpan, we still have those roadworks causing heavy delays on the N17 eastbound. This is between Wits Rifles and Rondebolt. Otherwise, the rest of 702 land not looking too bad, I must say. Free-flowing traffic on the rest of the highways. But I see already traffic is kind of building up. This is in the Centurion area on the N1 southbound. Between the Brakfontein interchange and Olifantsfontein Road. Look out for those faulty traffic lights in Edenville at Morafontein Road and Van Riebeck. Traffic lights also not working in Polshof at Fitkoppen and Main. If you come across any other traffic issues, kindly WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
This would have been the first anniversary of the National Dialogue had it launched. It failed to launch because we have, in my opinion, entrenched ourselves in this culture of talking at each other, not to each other. Part of the reason why South Africa became the country that everybody spoke of is because we had found a way of speaking to each other with the view to creating a better future for all South Africans. I would like to see more people talking to each other.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Experience orchestral brilliance as the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra returns for its early spring season under the baton of celebrated South American conductor Deborah Waldman. The program features sensational violinist Lydia Baich, performing Bruch's violin, concerto, and other breathtaking performances. Don't miss this extraordinary journey through the heart of romanticism. Thursday, 20 August at 7:30 p.m. at the Linda Auditorium. Tickets available through Quicket.
35 years ago, we started asking a simple question. What if change wasn't something to survive, but something to invest in? Markets have risen and fallen. Technology has rewritten the rules. The world has shifted in ways nobody predicted. Through it all, we kept investing with conviction for the long term, for you. Change is opportunity. We're always ready to invest in it. 91. Investing for a world of change. 91 is an authorized FSP.
I'm a millionaire, and yes, I am a millionaire. And not a Mampara. I said goodbye to Mampara week long ago. And I know you're not a Mampara. Say it with me. I'm not a Mampara. Then go play the lotto for just 5 rand so that you're not weak on Mampara week. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sisekai.
Tired of seeing the same tiles everywhere you look? Charmed Decor is where you'll find something different. We curate high-quality imported tiles and mosaics that transform your space into something truly special. Design-led collections, easy online shopping, and samples delivered straight to you, so you can choose with confidence. Trusted by interior designers, architects, and home renovators. Discover tiles that inspire. Charmed Decor. Visit charmdecor.co.za and order your samples today.
702 is in conversation with Capitec, discussing how South Africans can protect themselves against financial crime.
Scammers use ordinary people's bank accounts because it lets them behind someone else's identity. The money moves through a real person and not through the scammer, which makes it far harder for anyone to trace it back to the scammer. And then from there, the money is often then converted into cryptocurrency, which lets it cross borders instantly with no name attached. for anyone to chase it. And by the time the pattern is spotted, it's usually already moved on. So this all happens incredibly quickly, all designed to hide behind ordinary people. And that's why actually one of the clearest warning signs there is. If an investment product asks you to pay money into an individual's personal account rather than a proper registered business, it's definitely a scam.
Slam the scam with Capitec. Capitec is an authorized financial services provider and registered credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Tabo, Mina, for a friend to show me his or her loyalty, borrow me money when I'm broke, when I need something to buy and I don't have money, borrow me money. Don't show me loyalty in otherwise.
Yeah.
It's money. Borrow me money. Please, my friend, borrow me money. You can fail to do other things. When I'm wrong, you are not on my side, it's fine. When I'm sick, you don't come and visit me, it's fine. Etc., etc. But if I need money, borrow me. Please, Nyakela. Otherwise, I have loyalty la.
Hi, good afternoon, Tabo and the team. Sam here from Joburg. For me, if I know you, you're not my friend. I only know you. Including my colleagues at work. They are my colleagues. They are not my friends. Actually, my friend is my wife and my kids. Thanks. Sam from Joburg.
Talk Radio, Mr. Tabo. I don't think if you have a beef with somebody, I should go and inherit that beef because you are having a beef with that person and I'm your friend. No. Your problem is your problem. Your problem with somebody else is your problem. I must go make enemy because I am your friend. No, never, 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 never. No, 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 no. I won't do that. I will never do that. Anyway, Eric from Victoria.
Yeah, if you've just joined us, we asked the question, how loyal do you expect your friends to be towards you? If you're fighting with someone or you have a beef with someone else, do you expect your friends to inherit that anger on your behalf and also cause some frustration to that person that you're not getting along with? Or your friends can be friends with your enemies and you have no problem with it. Please let us know on 072 702 1702, 23 minutes after 3 o'clock.
For more about 702,
Go to primemediaplus.com.
Welcome back. Opposition parties were unhappy about the decision to delay the appointment of the evidence leader. In this instance, as President Cyril Ramaphosa took umbrage to the appointment of the leader of this particular committee, Parliament's Impeachment Committee, and that it was decided that the decision will defer to Wednesday, and this followed objections from the president, who said that Advocate Thandazani Madonsela to probe allegation against him related to the theft of US dollars from his farm in Palapala in 2020 were not okay, and the advocate would be in conflict of interest. To give us more detail on this, someone who's been following the story very closely, Lindsay Dentlinger, who needs no introduction at all, EWN parliamentary reporter. Lindsay, thanks for your time. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Tabo.
The president opposing this particular evidence leader, it's clearly not welcomed by opposition parties. They're saying that he's applying delay tactics. Is that the case, or is there merit to his assertions?
Good afternoon, Tabo. Well, let's put it this way. The ATM's Vuya Zangula made a point to say that had the recommendation of Advocate Kate Hofmeyer, who was the nomination from the DA, had that been the committee's choice, would Ramaphosa still have objected to her perhaps being the evidence leader, because we know that this committee has previously debated that she has represented the president in matters in court involving the state. And so it goes all ways, and I think this is something that the committee has been debating several times over the weeks, that if we were to look at the cases that all the advocates who have been nominated, and there have been more than at least a dozen of them being nominated, would we find somebody who doesn't in some way have some connection or having had represented the president for or against in the past, and whether or not legal professionals are just that, and whether they are to be painted with a brush depending on who they have represented. So political parties feeling that the president shouldn't have the right or the say or an objection to who may lead the evidence in this particular inquiry, that this was a majority vote of the committee. And they didn't even want to entertain the merits that the president had offered in his letter to Parliament, which was only received late last night, about whether or not his objections should really be considered. But committee chairperson Makashule Gane acting on the side of caution, as he does, and saying that he didn't want this process once again to be taken to court, to be called into question, and for that reason has deferred the decision on whether or not Advocate Thandazani Madonsela should be the evidence leader. It's our understanding, Thabo, that they were ready to sign on the dotted line today. The processes had gone through the parliamentary administration. Speaker Toko Didiza had signed off on it, but scuppered literally at the 11th hour by this letter sent to the committee chairperson and the speaker by President Ramaphosa.
Very interesting that the letter was received yesterday, because one of the reasons that I'd like you to speak about, Lindsay, that the president has forwarded to the Section 89 inquiry, it's not just conflict, but he also cites another matter of the ANC, that the advocate had provided legal advice to the African National Congress in the parliament on the impeachment matter. And if that was the case, I mean, we heard from Fikile Mbalula previously that the advocate did actually represent the ANC on a different matter. And why is the president now at the 11th hour deciding to cite the very same reason? He could have done that last week or at any other time.
So 2 points to that, Thabo. Firstly, when political parties made nominations and Parliament's legal unit approached these individuals to ask whether they would be interested, available, wanting to take on the role of being an evidence leader, Thandazani Madonsela declared that he had overseen junior legal counsel who had provided advice to the ANC's parliamentary caucus, and this had to do with whether or not they should oppose the application brought by the president to halt these proceedings. And it was declared, and it was said before the committee when they considered the list. So that was no secret. When the ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula made mention of it, it had already been in the public domain. But to your second point, Thabo, about delaying tactics, that is a question that it has merit, because these discussions were held 2 weeks ago. The committee didn't meet last week precisely to give Parliament's administration time to do what they need to do to effect this recommendation from the committee and to confirm whether Advocate Madonsela indeed wanted to follow through with this particular job. And so him sending that letter to the chairperson last night, is our understanding that political parties didn't even have sight of it until this morning's meeting, did really play into the narrative from some opposition parties that this was just, again, another delaying tactic from the president, and that he was waiting, to the 11th hour to really put more obstacles in the path of this inquiry really gaining traction, Thabo.
Lindsay, appreciate your time, and we'll touch base every now and then to get the latest from you. Lindsay Dentlinger, EWN parliamentary reporter, 3:30. Bali Dlamini is standing by to give us the latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon. Welcome, Bali.
Thanks, Thabo. Good afternoon. Some students from the Cape Peninsula University of Technology at the Bellville campus are refusing to budge. They've vowed to remain on university grounds until their demands have been met. The students have been holding a mass meeting on campus this afternoon after the university ordered them to vacate their residences by 4 this afternoon. The decision follows ongoing campus protests over several issues, including a proposed 2027 finance plan that requires students to pay a 7,000 Rand registration fee. This plan has since been withdrawn by the university's council. Ntutuzelo Nene is there.
The university has given students a strict deadline to vacate its residencies, citing safety concerns for both students and staff. But SRC Deputy President Tumelo Nzimande says the directive was for students to leave their residences, not the campus. He has also questioned the legality of the 24-hour deadline, arguing that people facing eviction are generally given more time to vacate.
If they provide transport, as if we are sticking here, where does this money come from that they want from us? And we're not even going to allow them to use our NSFAS allowances and say that, hey, take your allowances and leave.
Some students have reportedly already left their residences voluntarily, while others are hopeful the committee will side with them and help address their concerns. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News in Belleville.
The KZN Transport Department believes it's uncovered a syndicate behind the theft of guardrails on the province's major roads. 2 men suspected to be behind the syndicate made a brief appearance in the KwaDukuza Magistrates Court today. They face charges including theft and the damaging of essential infrastructure. They were arrested following a police raid on a warehouse in the south of Durban where a large consignment of guardrails was found. Tabiso Koba reports.
The KwaZulu-Natal Transport Department spends millions of rands every year replacing stolen guardrails on the province's major roads. The guardrails, which are made of steel, serve a critical functional purpose of acting as barriers to prevent cars from falling and minimizing crash impacts. Department spokesperson Dabezinhle Sibia says the people who steal the guardrails are heartless.
Unfortunately, we have been experiencing road accidents, horrific accidents, where cars just roll down the embankment because of the missing guardrails. So we caught a runner removing the guardrails. When he was interrogated, he ended up leading the investigating team to a kingpin.
The case of the 2 men arrested for the theft of guardrails returns to court on the 23rd of September for bail application. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News, KwaDukuza.
The remains of 84 Namibian nationals, including 2 freedom fighters, are being repatriated after a decade-long search for their graves. The bulk of the remains were unethically collected more than 100 years ago from indigenous people. They were kept in the Izigo South African Museum in Cape Town, where the 2 governments hosted the official send-off today. Quinton Gyala reports.
The families of Festus Nehale and Simon Yelanga stood emotionally in front of their caskets during a ceremony where some of Namibia's traditional leaders at the repatriation ceremony. The 2 had been arrested in Namibia in 1974 and imprisoned on Robben Island, where they died. They were buried at Maitland and Guguletu cemeteries respectively, from where they had been exhumed. Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Gayton McKenzie said he had been tasked by President Ramaphosa to expedite the process of repatriating struggle heroes and the remains of those who had been unethically collected.
They've never been freed. But today, they're going home.
McKenzie called for access to Robben Island Museum to be made free for primary school children so that they would not forget South Africa's struggle history. Quinton Gyala, Eyewitness News, Cape Town.
Well, it's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 25 and 27 degrees.
Germiston roadworks causing delays heading towards Brakpan on the N17 eastbound between Wits Rifles and Rondebold Road, while leaving Sandton heading towards the M1. Traffic sluggish on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greystone and in Centurion. We also have roadworks slowing down traffic N1 southbound between Old Joburg Road and Olifantsfontein Road.
The top story in EWN. Some students from the Cape Peninsula University of Technology at the Belleville campus are refusing to budge. This comes as the university ordered them to vacate residences by 4 this afternoon.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
I know our members here are trying to figure out very hard where we could have lost one of our mic pop filters. So when you found it though, how did you decide that I'm actually going to have fun with this?
So initially I was warned to not even use it because, it is an equipment of a broadcasting company. I'm aware of that. But I was like, I can play kind. And as soon as I kept it, it just looked so real and it was going to be a souvenir. The more I held it, it fit right perfectly into my tripod. And I was like, I can use this. And I just went with it and I just couldn't stop. And I saw animals. I was like, I wonder how this cow feels. Let's find out.
Tatu Zungu. She has been using the 702 mic pop filter.
Clement Manyatela.
9 to 12 on 702.
Peregrine Capital presents Brian Habana's Count to 100.
In my journey to 100, it started with my first cap, then my second, 10th, 50th, 90th, 99th.
Brian Habana, his 100th international test.
You get to 100 one decision at a time. For 28 years, Peregrine Capital has applied that same discipline to turn 1 million rand into 100 million. Peregrine Capital. Invest in performance. An authorized FSP. Past performance non-indicative of future performance. T's and C's apply.
Mavis, I wonder if I should sell my car. I'm not sure where to go.
Wanna sell your car, but don't know what to do. You don't have to go far, we come to you. If you're rolling on a 1.5 or a Lacquer 2.2, doesn't matter what you drive, we buy cars once you.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Take control of your equipment, your billing, and your revenue with PumaTech. Built for all sized businesses in rental, construction, scaffolding, plant hire, and mining. PumaTech gives you real-time, on-site visibility of everything. Your equipment, your materials, across sites, yards, and branches. Simplify stock control, reduce losses, and manage your billing. All in one powerful, locally built platform. PumaTech. Know where everything is.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good afternoon, team. Our woman. Mara guys, this thing of enemies and all that, we are not about Putin, Pela. Our guys, people must scan about you. They must talk about you because you are a human being. What would they talk about you without talking about other people? Now I won't hold any grudges about people scanning about me or talking about me behind my back. I would actually love to hear what people think about me, and if there are bad things or good things, it's good. It's a kind of a reflection from other people. But people will hate others and stop talking to people because umuntu or a person spoke about them with somebody. Guys, this thing of enemies and all that, it's not working. Let's just accept that people will talk about you always.
Here's something 702 landers for you to consider. Your best friend could potentially become your worst enemy. And secondly, the old saying, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. That may hold true when it comes to family and friends. Just a topic for discussion. And then something my great-granddaddy used to say. Son, remember, friends come and friends go. Enemies accumulate.
The last voice note, pearls of wisdom. Pearls of wisdom. And in case you've just joined us, good afternoon. Welcome. John is not here. My name is Thabo Shalamashau. The voice notes were about a question I asked earlier on as we kicked off the show. And we asked you a question. To what extent do you want loyalty from your friends? And how loyal are you to your friends? Should your friends inherit the beef, the fights, the disagreements that you have with others? And must they take them up and also not speak to the people that you're not in speaking terms with? They must also fight with the people that you're fighting with. Is that the kind of friendship that you want? And is that what you call loyalty? Or you don't mind if your friends are friends with your enemies, if they get along with people that you don't like and you're thinking, nah, it's life. That's just how it rolls. Please let us know on 072 702 1702.
EWN Sport.
with Tholakele Mganga. She'll give us the latest in the sporting world. Good afternoon, Tholakele.
Afternoon, Thabo. While Caitlin Weingarten, Tabiseng Nini and Luyanda Nzuza have received their main Proteas women team call-ups. That's for the T20 series against Zimbabwe next month. Laura Waldbart will captain the side while there's a return for Faye Tunnicliffe, Annika Bosch and Nondumiso Shangase, who all missed out on the T20 World Cup. And ahead of the clashes in Bulawayo, coach Mandla Mashimbi has discussed his thinking in selecting a youthful side.
There's nothing that I'll be doing now without the 2029 World Cup in mind. You know, we have to kind of like expose these players as much as possible when opportunities present themselves to the international cricket, and also give them the opportunity to see whether they've got the capabilities to thrive at that level. And we can't do that if we don't give them the opportunities.
India beat Sri Lanka by 165 runs in their first test in Gale to take a 1-0 lead in their two-match series. Chasing a target of 372, the hosts were bowled out for 206 shortly after lunch, with left-arm spinner Manav Sutta taking 6 for 55. Switching to football, where Gus Poyet is being linked with the Bafana Bafana head coaching job amid a continued delay in appointing Pitso Mosimane to the role. At the beginning of this month, Safa's NEC recommended the former Al Ahly and Mamelodi Sundowns coach as Hugo Broos's successor, but a formal announcement has still not been made, while reports in France have now linked Poyet with the job, as he seems to be a wanted man, as he's also being courted by the football federations of Algeria and Poland. Switching over to the Bedway Premiership, where Mamelodi Sundowns will play their first home league game of the season against Marumo Gallants tonight. Grant Gekana has discussed the importance of securing all 3 points as they look to join the Soweto teams and Amazulu at the top of the standings.
Yeah, we definitely need it, it's a confidence thing. But just for us to also stamp our authority, I think there's a lot of talk that's happening. People are questioning us, so it will be a good statement for us, to start on a good note at home.
And Nick Kyrgios has been provisionally suspended from tennis after testing positive for cocaine during the Mallorca Open on the 22nd of June. Kyrgios has been suspended since the 4th of August and cannot play, coach, or attend Grand Slams or any other events. He faces a 4-year ban if it's found he took the drug during a competition, but it could just be 3 months if he took cocaine outside of a competition. Tholakele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
With Karabo Charlie, he'll give us the very latest on the roads. If you're heading to work, from work, going home to a meeting, wherever you're heading, he'll have us know what to expect on the roads. Mr. Charlie, over to you.
Yeah, well, at this stage in Germiston, heading towards Brakpan, roadwork still causing more than a 20-minute delay on the N17 eastbound from Wits Rifles to Rondebold. Leaving Sandton, heading towards the M1, traffic sluggish on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greyston Drive, while in Centurion, there's roadworks also slowing down traffic on the N1 southbound. This is from Old Joburg Road all the way to Olifantsfontein Road, and traffic is a bit sluggish driving into Soweto. That's in the Pimville area on Chris Honey Road opposite the UJ campus. If you come across any other traffic issues, kindly WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
16 minutes to 3 o'clock. Welcome back. I'm in charge. John is not here. I'm kidding. I'm not in charge. It's myself and Jude together all the way till 6. Tholakele, good afternoon. You good?
I'm good, and you, Thabo?
Are you a good friend? Not to me. I'm asking about your friends. Are you a good friend?
We're friends, Thabo.
No, I'm saying to your friends.
Breaking news to me.
You're always looking for spice where there's none.
You're
opening the cupboards. Spice. Are you a good friend to your friends?
Absolutely.
Are you a loyal friend to your friends?
To the core.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you the kind of friend who expect your friends to be fully loyal to you, to the core?
I would hope that we respect each other enough for you not to speak about me or the things that we discuss in our personal settings with other people. And I remember you also asked the question that if your friend has beef,
yes,
do you inherit that beef completely?
Yeah.
Completely. There are people that they have forgiven after they've settled the beef
yes.
that I don't speak to.
But
legitimately, I'm so
see
sorry.
What I mean?
You can allow the forgiveness and try to be a bigger person, but for me, that person's always my op. Because
but this was not your enemy to start off with, Tholakele.
But my friend, I saw the pain and the hurt that it
Yes.
caused them, and they have to work towards rebuilding that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
And because I don't even like the fact that you took advantage of them to even get to that point the first
Sure.
time, I'm always going to be mad at you for even disrespecting
Yeah.
and disregarding their feelings to that point. And they may have peace in their heart
Yeah.
and be like, no,
Yeah,
I'm a
we
bigger
spoke
person.
about it, Chomi.
It's not
It's
me.
all over. Okay, I
It's
hear
not
that. I can understand
me.
that to some extent.
Mhm.
But what if you do not really know if your friend was in the wrong? It could be.
They're my friend. They never.
Oh,
in
so
the
that
wrong.
doesn't
What
matter.
are you talking about? Right
So
or die.
you
They're my friend.
inherit the beef.
Absolutely. Dinewa will tell you
Oh,
how much
wow.
I inherited beef.
I'm not going to mess up with Dineo.
Listen. There's an acquaintance that she is acquainted with that is
Yeah.
no longer my acquaintance. Even if we were
Here
in
at
the
work.
no, not here at work. Even if we were in the same room
Yeah.
together, I blank them like it's nobody's business because of
Really?
just how much they hurt her. And even
Yeah.
though she's moved on, I know the pain that she went through. And I will never forgive that person for what they did
My
to her.
goodness. So you take it to that level.
Oh, that's what friendship, for me, I always say that's what friendship is. I've seen all of the sides to you.
Yeah.
And if someone rejects you and betrays you to that level, they can never be someone I'm cool
But
with.
it could be that I'm wrong. It could be that I'm the one who messed up that relationship
Friends
as
are
your
never
friend.
wrong. They're never wrong.
Mr. Charlie, you also maintain the same. You insist on loyalty.
No, I'll look into the conflict and the issue first. You see, so I'll be like, I'll be the voice of reason. You know,
Yeah.
if one of my friends did are in the wrong, then
Yeah.
I'll be like, maralwena Jo, wa bona gore o
In front
floppy."
of that
Yes, or maybe
individual.
I'll make it
Or on
clear.
the side.
I'll make it
In
clear
front
to
of the person.
I'll
Yeah.
make it clear to both of them. Okay, you are wrong and she's right. So if I'm gonna have to choose sides, you understand why I'm going this side. I get it because I go on that an enemy of a friend is an enemy. You did them wrong, so you are our enemy now. Hardy boy.
You will tell them.
Would you correct your friend in front of the enemy?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
They're both my friends.
No, they're not both your friends.
Okay.
They're not both your friends. The other one is Thabo Shalamashao. The other one is your bestie.
Yes. If
Pete
my bestie is
Munokong.
wrong.
Yeah, and your bestie is wrong.
Yeah.
But now you're going to take a stance against Thabo and tell Thabo, brah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to take a Pete's side.
No, I'll be like, Pete, you're wrong, my guy.
Wow,
Go apologize to Tabo, just be the better man, But if I'm in the wrong,
Better than me. I'm so sorry.
I'm confused,
if
bro.
I'm in the wrong, I'll be like, hey, Baba, it's either me or him.
Last question to both of you. Last question, I promise. Are you comfortable with your friends being friends with your enemies?
I don't think they would do that. And I don't say it like
Yeah.
flippantly. I mean, because they also know why we don't speak. I think because of the loyalty in our friendship, they wouldn't entertain a friendship with that person. They might do a high and buy, but they won't be friends with the person.
I hear you. No, let me give you a quick scenario. What I mean. Thabo comes, he starts working for Prime Media, and you and Thabo had a beef at church somewhere in Regina Mundi, whatever. Something happened. I broke your rosary or whatever, and then you still hold it against me. And then Dineo doesn't know me at all, and Dineo is friends with
she
Thabo,
will
blah
know
blah blah
about
blah
you.
blah. No, but she didn't
She
know.
will know, 'cause
you
remember-
didn't bring it up for whatever reason. It was just one incident. You wouldn't think that our paths will cross, right? And then now I'm here, and Dineo is like, Thabo this. Are you comfortable with that?
Greeting you initially.
Not initially, but we're getting closer, having lunch together.
No, I will tell her A, B, C, and D happened. And I'd like to believe that she'll move accordingly.
Oh, man, that's a question we're asking you. Please let me know on 072 702 1702.
For more about 702,
Go to primemediaplus.com.
702 Drive is in conversation with 91. Changes opportunity. 91. Always ready to invest in it. 91. Investing for a world of change. Almost 10 minutes to 3 o'clock, and you'd know that war, oil prices, and prospect of further interest rate hikes are dominating the economic headlines right now. But look, beyond the immediate uncertainty, and South Africa's story may be more encouraging than it appears. And with July's latest inflation numbers now out, what are the signals telling us about the inflation and interest rates could be headed? Join us to make sense of it all. And there's someone who's assisting to make sense of this is James Turp, analyst at 91. James, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Good afternoon.
Absolute pleasure to be here, Tabo. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. James, July CPI came out this morning. Was it in line with what you expected, and how does it shape your outlook for the rest of the year?
So it was a surprise, Tabo. And so the market was expecting a level of 4.5% for the last year. And it surprised everyone, including the 91 house view of 4.6%. So the number came in lower, and I'm happy about that, at 4.3% because of energy prices, electricity, and a little bit of fuel and food being lower than expected. So that's actually, as far as the picture's developing, that's actually good news for us South Africans.
And James, since the war started, everyone is really obsessed, and I'd say even fixated on oil price. And markets now expect 2 more hikes after the very first one. But 2 days before the war, South Africa had one of its best budgets in years. Lower funding costs, reduced debt, corporate tax ahead of forecast. Has anything actually changed, or are we in a hiking cycle for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, it's great to frame it like that. And often I think of it as a break or a pause from what was a cutting cycle. You're quite right. The budget was so good, credit rating upgrades for South Africa, all of those positive things you mentioned, and suddenly war breaks out and we've all been reduced, not only just now as portfolio managers of fixed income, but now we're kind of oil traders, as it were, because everything seeming to correlate back to the inflationary effects of the oil price. Does that change the fundamental story for South Africa? Well, temporarily, sure it has. We've changed the outlook for interest rates that were looking good. You know, prior to the war, we would have probably been lower than 6.5% for the repo rate, but we're at 7% and looking at further hikes now because of that. But an interesting one to consider was the Reserve Bank's approach to this. They got ahead of the game in May and they hiked interest rates. But at the July meeting, they actually surprised markets by holding rates and focusing potentially more on the state of the economy, being a little bit more balanced. Having said they'd gotten ahead of the game, they got ahead of global rate hikes as well, and they've showed a more cautious approach. And maybe there's some information for us as investors there that the Reserve Bank is not going to hike out of pure fear of inflation rising, but maybe they'll be a little more tolerant. I've been saying sometimes that, you know, too much medicine isn't good for the patient either. And maybe that's the case here, the Reserve Bank realizing that they've done enough, they've got ahead, and maybe we as investors need to think about that. And maybe down the line, those interest rate cuts will indeed return, and we got to position our portfolios accordingly.
James Turp is my guest, and James is fixed income portfolio manager at 91. You've just referred to the Reserve Bank, James, and we know that it held rates now in July. And you spoke about signals, and I'm wondering if that signal that they're seeing the same disinflation path that you are seeing, and backed by a treasury reining in spending.
That's it, Joe. I mean, so we've seen the lack of spending, of course, has its own inflationary and growth effects. But what we do know about the behavior of a shock to inflation, such as the one the oil prices introduced, is that it lasts for a year, and then that price effect actually, it can't inflate anymore so long as the price is higher but stable. And then inflation, as the Reserve Bank and our own 91 forecast shows, that it will return closer to around 3.5% midway through next year. So if that does play out, if there's no further undue shock, which we can never be sure of, then if that's the case, indeed interest rates will start normalizing again. So, as an investor, you've got to de-risk portfolios for imminent threat, but also you have to consider the long-term prognosis for markets, because you don't want to be chasing your tail and chasing performing markets and getting nowhere. So you've also got to be tactical in the way you position your funds too, with the investor in mind first, and then performance, of course, ties into that.
James, what would it mean to someone holding SA bonds right now if your forecast has inflation closer to 3% by the end of next year? And why not just move your cash given the headlines currently?
Well, that's something we've been talking to our investor base about, and that is that it is an appropriate consideration that with bond yields anywhere, they've moved higher as a result of this inflationary shock. So we know where we were at the beginning of the year compared to where we are now, theoretically has given us better entry points. But you've got to also consider that there is this unresolved risk globally. So moderate application of further interest rate exposure, such as in, something like our 91 core income fund, which just looks at the really short end of the yield curve duration of around 1 year. That is the sort of exposure that you can start moving into your portfolio and taking advantage of. Because should inflation be, as the Reserve Bank aims, around 3%, well, then we're going to see rate cuts, and those could come as soon as in the scenario they painted in the July MPC of an oil price below $80, their model suggests interest rate cuts are around the corner. So these are the things you've got to consider. News develops, as you at 702 know, very quickly. So that's something to be prepared for.
I'm going to squeeze in one last question. I only have 20 seconds, sadly, for your response, James. The Fed's dealing with weak jobs data right now and its own inflation fight. Does that global backdrop help or complicate our story here in South Africa?
Helps the story. A Fed that is not hiking interest rates helps our story as fixed income investors for the bond curve. We've got the minutes of the Fed meeting later today. That's going to help us color in the picture a little more clearly. But working out one of the risks is if the Fed hikes or doesn't. So that's something we've got to pay close attention to, and we might get a better picture later on this evening.
James, sadly, we have to leave it at that because of time. We should talk more on these. Thanks for your insights. Really appreciate it. And James Terp is Fixed Income Portfolio Manager at 91, 2 minutes to 4 o'clock.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
NSFAS is a complete disaster, surely.
The delays of payments of tuition, delays of payments of allowances around 50-something thousand students. And to say that it's a complete disaster is just to, exaggerate.
We are now seeing something as alarming as the National Council on Higher Education saying our public universities may be at risk because of a cash flow crisis, much of it because of NSFAS. How do you not say it isn't a complete disaster?
The 5.1 billion that was funded, the public protector correctly indicated that it was from 2010 until 2026. So this was a 16-year period.
So what, in 16 years, we could find that amount negligible because it was 16 years? 5 billion rand?
No. The scheme this year alone, Bongani, is a 50 billion institution this year alone.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Smart business decisions save money. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's JC from Blonde Hair Studio.
I was with my previous insurer for many years before switching over to Outsurance Business Insurance. I'm really happy with the premium I'm paying now, and switching was definitely one of the best decisions for my business.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Uncertainty is rising, but your business still has to deliver. Production targets need to be met. And when your workforce is out of balance, the cost is immediate. Too many employees? Costs climb. Too few? Productivity drops. Workforce Staffing helps businesses stay in control with flexible workforce solutions deployed within 48 hours nationwide. When demand changes, your workforce can change with it. Visit workforcestaffing.co.za. Stay productive, stay flexible, stay in control.
Ready to take your career to the next level and make a lasting impact? At the Wits School of Governance, you'll gain the knowledge and leadership skills to help shape better public policy, governance and development across Africa. Applications are now open for the 2027 intake, with postgraduate diplomas, Master of Management and PhD programs available, including flexible online study options. Apply today at wsg.ac.za. Wits School of Governance, Africa's leading school of governance.
This is EWN.
It's 4 o'clock. Will Cape Peninsula students vacate the campus? And Fadil Adams wants access to controversial meeting recording. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. The Cape Peninsula University of Technology says it does not intend to forcibly evict students from its residences. The university issued an order informing students that all residences should be closed at this hour as part of a shutdown until further notice. The directive follows a week of protests, including the burning of a building at the Belleville campus on Monday evening. The unrest comes after CPUT's draft 2027 recovery plan, which proposed that students pay 7,000 Rand for registration. CPUT spokesperson Lauren Kansley says no transport will be provided for the students today. Kansley says management is uncertain about what action will be taken if the students refuse to leave by the 4 p.m. deadline.
We are still hoping that there can be an engagement with the student leadership. We're hoping that that could shift in some sort of way. But we're certainly not looking to evict people violently from the residences. Students have already been leaving.
Suspended Member of Parliament Fadil Adams has asked the Madlanga Commission to access a recording of his meeting with IDAC prosecutor Drushanta Ramsamy. Adams has read a statement before the inquiry today, denying claims that he fraudulently accessed classified crime intelligence reports. The documents informed his complaint to IDAC, where he accused crime intelligence head Dumsani Khumalo and others of misconduct. Those charges are now being withdrawn by the state. Adams met Ramsamy in January last year to discuss that report. Ramsamy told the commission recently that she recorded that meeting, citing concerns over how Adams accessed the documents. Adams claims Ramsamy told him 2 cases would emerge from his report.
What is it that you say the recording will reveal?
The recording will prove that I did not give them 4 calls. She was ready to move on 2 cases, her own words. The recording will also prove that she said to me, and when I think about it, I don't know if she was trying to bait me or to get me to say something. I had to flee KZN because of Khumalo. I had to pack up and come to the Western Cape. She says it. It's on the recording.
Police are looking for a new suspect linked to the murder of popular DJ Warwick Stock, known as DJ Warris. A warrant of arrest has been issued for 40-year-old Hlengiwe Buthelezi, who will be the 3rd suspect in this matter. Buthelezi is being sought for alleged conspiracy to commit murder and murder in the 2025 death of the DJ. Warris was shot and killed in the Joburg CBD, with the alleged mastermind Victor Majola captured on CCTV footage allegedly giving hand signals pointing him out. Dimakatso Lushoro reports.
Police have released an identikit of Hlengiwe Buthelezi after a J50 warrant of arrest was issued by the police's Serious and Violent Crimes Unit. At the time of Victor Majola's bail application, the investigating officer told the court that Warris's details were found, including his address and other personal information, in Majola's cell phone. Majola allegedly received that information from his girlfriend, known as Hlengiwe, against whom Stock had applied for a protection order prior to his death. According to the investigating officer at the time, Hlengiwe was part of an informal committee illegally collecting rent from residents of the hijacked building. She's also allegedly the one who provided the DJ's pictures to the man who now stands accused of orchestrating the murder. Dimakatso Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
New figures from Stats SA show food and non-alcoholic beverage inflation dropped sharply in July, giving shoppers some relief at the tills. Food inflation dropped to just 0.9% in July and now running below the country's overall inflation rate of 4.3%. While fuel prices are still up more than 20% year on year, food price inflation is cooling. Investec Chief Economist Annabelle Bishop.
Food price inflation has not been affected by higher oil prices this year, despite concerns earlier in 2026. In fact, food price inflation has actually had a moderating impact overall on CPI inflation, without which the print would have been significantly higher.
And in Brazil, 21 people have been killed in a head-on collision between a bus and a truck. The accident occurred on a highway connecting the southern part of the country with Sao Paulo. According to local media, the passenger vehicle was transporting patients to various medical centers. Authorities have not provided any information about the truck's occupants. Gold is trading at $4,453.03 an ounce. The rand is at 16.14 to the dollar, 21.97 to the pound, 18.80 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $91.19 a barrel.
Germiston heading towards Brakpan roadworks causing about a 20-minute delay on the N17 eastbound from Wits Rifles to Rondebolt. If you're leaving Sandton, traffic also a bit sluggish on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greyston Drive, and in Centurion roadworks slowing down traffic N1 South from Old Joburg Road to Olifantsfontein Road.
In your sport, Faye Tunnicliffe named in Proteas women's squad for their T20 series against Zimbabwe. Gus Poyet linked with Bafana job amid uncertainty about Pitso Musimane's appointment. And Nick Kyrgios suspended from tennis after testing positive for cocaine. A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg drops to overnight lows of 8 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria 13 and 31, and Vereniging 6 and 30 degrees. The top story in EWN, the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, says it does not intend to forcibly evict students from residences as the 4 p.m. deadline hits.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Seven minutes after 4 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us. You're on 702. Thabo Shola Mashao in for John Perlman. We're together till 6. Great having you with us. I hope that the traffic is a little bit kinder to you as you are making your way home, to a meeting, to a restaurant, wherever it is that you may be going. And I always look forward to your interactions because you throw a different perspective to sometimes predetermined outlooks that we have. And you force us to think on our toes. And so your response, your assertions as you revert are extremely important. I'm not just saying it just to be nice. I really mean it because you force us to look at things in a different way. This hour, we do have quite a lot going on. But before that, if you've just joined us, just to give you heads up as to what we discussed, President Cyril Ramaphosa's impeachment, the committee looked at his objection against the evidence leader, and the committee chairperson, Makashule Gana, is giving it thought, and he has deferred the matter for legal advice. President Cyril Ramaphosa had said that he is opposed to the current evidence leader because apparently he had done work for the ANC in prior, but the president had gotten rid of him in a different matter. So he feels that the gentleman is conflicted. We also had a quick chat with James Terp from 91, and also if you are keen, we asked you about loyalty to your friends. How loyal are you? To an extent where you are willing to inherit their fights with other people? Let us know on 072 702 1702. And this is what you had to say.
For more about 702,
go to primemediaplus.com.
Hi, Thabo and the team. Mina, I inherited a beef between my sister and the in-laws. I share my inherited it. They are a bit fine. They're fine and not fine, but I'm not there. I'm not there because they had her, and they even included the parents. So I inherited it. Anginandaba nabo futhi nje. And my sister knows that, without any guilt for that matter.
Hi, Tabo. Lisele here in Pretoria. My friend, even if you are my friend, I'm not going to fight your battles. I already have my own battles that I'm fighting. So I'm not going to include yours. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be the one to bridge the gap between you and your enemies. I'll try to broker a peace. But the people you are fighting with, I'm going to be on speaking terms with them. I'm not going to isolate people because when are you fighting them? No. Then I won't be honest with myself. Then that friendship that I'll be having with you is a toxic one. Why must I fight your battles? No, they are your battles, not mine. Everybody fight their own battles. Thank you, Shole Mashau, Lisele in Pretoria.
Yeah, I think I love your sense of sobriety on those issues, Lisela. I've had friends before who were not in good terms, and it was very difficult, especially when we all had to be in one place. We had a bereavement at home some years ago, and both of them came through to obviously offer their commiserations at my home, and I tried my best to manage their arrival times to be different and the departure times to be well coordinated so that they don't meet, because I was in a different state. I didn't want to be handling people's beef at a time like that. But it's often difficult. But I think the right thing to do is, no, you can't inherit someone's beef. You cannot. You can't inherit someone's fights, but also have the decency of not speaking or listening into the conversations that are about someone else who can't represent themselves at that particular point. It would be a difficult one if they start gossiping about your friend and you're sitting there and you're nodding. Clearly, you're not a friend. But let us know. 072-702-1702, 12 after 4.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 rands. What I will ask you, Mr. Charlie, right now, how does the traffic look? I'm sure the highways a little bit packed at this hour.
Yeah, no, definitely traffic is a bit busier than an hour ago. In Germiston, we still have those roadworks. This is on the N17 eastbound, causing about a 20-minute delay between Wits Rifles and Rondebolt, heading towards Brakpan. Joburg CBD bumper-to-bumper traffic heading towards Four Ways. This is on the M1, heading towards Boisent on the M1 South, from Killarney Baines to the Crown Interchange, while in Soweto Pimville, traffic pressure on Chris Honey Road. This is opposite UJ Campus, while in Lenasia, expect some delays on the R554 Abu Bakr Drive. This is between Chris Honey Road and Nirvana Drive in Protea Glen. Traffic also congested on the R559, that's main road between the R558 and Sunset Avenue due to faulty traffic lights. Bryanston, slow-moving traffic heading towards Four Ways, N1 South from Rivonia Road to Winnie Mandela Drive. And in Centurion, roadwork still causing some delays on the N1 southbound from Old Joburg Road to Olifantsfontein Road. For the latest traffic updates, you can also follow us on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance Pointsman can help you remember the contents of that 70-page presentation, but they can get the traffic flowing smoothly so you get to the office on time to prepare. The Outsurance Pointsmen are real heroes in green and purple, easing traffic congestion and making our lives easier for almost 21 years. Just another way you always get something out, in proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using #PointsmenLove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
NSFAS is a complete disaster. surely.
The delays of payments of tuition, delays of payments of allowances around 50-something thousand students. And to say that it's a complete disaster is just to, exaggerate.
We are now seeing something as alarming as the National Council on Higher Education saying our public universities may be at risk because of a cash flow crisis, much of it because of NSFAS. How do you not say it isn't a complete disaster?
The 5.1 billion that was funded, the public protector correctly indicated that it was from 2010 until 2026. So this was a 16-year period.
So what, in 16 years, we could find that amount negligible because it was 16
No.
years? 5 billion rand?
No. The scheme this year alone, Bongani, is a 50 billion institution this year alone.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
Remember the first time your soul felt alive, or the last time music moved you so deeply you didn't want it to end? That feeling is calling you back. You're officially invited to come experience soulful performances from global icons Kamasi Washington, Themba in Africa Mkhize, Nubia Garcia, Ibrahim Malouf, Judith Sipuma, Angelique Kijo, Ndabo Zulu, Melanie Scholz, Flowetry, Thandi Somazwai, and 40 world-class acts. 4 incredible stages at the Sandton Convention Center, 1 unforgettable experience at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, 25th to 26th September. This is Jazz Reignited. Get your weekend pass now via Ticketmaster.
I'm a millionaire, and yes, I am a millionaire, and not a Mampara. I said goodbye to Mampara week long ago, and I know you're not a Mampara. Say it with me, I'm not a Mampara. Then go play the lotto for just 5 rand so that you're not weak on Mampara week. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sisekhaya.
Strong communities are built on a strong local government. Every day, municipalities work to deliver the essential services that improve lives and support thriving communities across South Africa. As the voice of local government, SALGA represents, supports, and empowers municipalities to build capable institutions, promote good governance, and advance effective service delivery. SALGA, inspiring service delivery.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, returns to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from 28 to 30 August. Experience thrilling track drives, supercars, drifting, 4x4 adventures, and the very latest in automotive innovation. Book your tickets now on Howler. The Festival of Motoring, where legacy meets innovation.
702 Podcast.
On primemediaplus.com.
Welcome back. Thabo Sholamashao in for John Perlman, together with you till 6 o'clock. A community station based in Soweto called Jozi FM has been embroiled in governance issues. At some point, the CEO was suspended, who then forced himself back into the office. He claims that the board is not legitimate, even though he had signed an agreement and the court had ruled in that favor. So we have invited the chairperson of that board, Rapitsi Monsu, to come and give clarity on the issue that has divided the community of Soweto into two. It must also be said at the outset, we did try to get hold of the CEO. We've sent many requests to no avail as yet. Mpho Mhlongo, and then we are still awaiting his response. We are joined now by Chairperson of Jozi FM, Rapitsi Monsu. Tata Monsu, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. And I don't know how fair that will be without him being present.
He has the right of reply, and he's an adult. We did reach out to him. He can respond at any given time to give his response as we have requested. Getting back to it, who's currently in charge of Jozi FM? Because we understand that you suspended the CEO, but he then, in turn, fired the CEO that you had placed on an acting capacity, and it has thrown everything else into turmoil. Who's in charge right now?
Right now, we have Mpho Mhlongo, who is unlawfully running the reins at Jozi FM. Remember, there are a number of processes that we've had to go through. The first had to do with the court order of the 23rd of July, wherein the 3 board members, including himself, were appointed by the judge. It was myself, it was Dr. Tulani Mhlongo, and it was himself. But in order for him to run the station properly, he needed to provide the CIPC with documents that would allow him to do transactions. He's refused to cooperate. In fact, he went public to say he's not going to cooperate. The ICASA gave a letter that recognizes myself, Dr. Tulani Mhlongo, and Caroline Janji. The 3 of us are the known board members by ICASA. He has also refused to recognize those.
And so he imposed himself, and you are saying that illegitimately he's occupying the office of the CEO currently.
Correct. He is illegitimately. Remember, we have suspended him correctly with the board resolution, with the board members signing to say that he is to be suspended because he needs a number of things to answer for.
Yeah. It's his impression during a press conference that he had called together with some community members that the real issue at hand, at play here, is the fact that you are running away from the tough questions that is asking you about the lottery donation that was donated to the station.
That's a laughable matter. He took the matter to court, Orlando Police Station, and he lost that case. The matter was withdrawn on the 27th of March. Why is he continuing to use the media, the community, as if that case is still continuing? On the 27th of March, that matter was withdrawn. Why is he continuing to raise that matter? Secondly, that lottery funding, the SMRC was only used as a conduit, as an assisting organization. And it is public information. You can call the lottery and find out about it. They've given me an answer as to what their answer is about it.
At this present moment, who is in charge of the accounts? Because for the station to run, you do need money. You need to pay not just talent, but the rest of the staff. And you need to pay rent and finance other operational costs that may be at hand. Is it the board or is it the management?
No, it is management at all times. I mean, we have to have management. The board cannot operationally engage on matters of the operations. We leave that to management, and he is supposed to be the person who is running the affairs at an operational level.
And I'm asking, I'm asking that deliberately because also publicly it said that you had gone to withhold transactions on various accounts to the detriment of the staff not being paid on time. And as a result, there was turmoil that took place in the station because you had access to the bank accounts. And that's only why I'm asking that. I understand how governance generally works, but he seems to think that you also have access to the bank accounts.
I don't have access to the bank accounts. In fact, the three board members, myself, Dr. Tulani Mhlongo, and Carol went to Maponya Mall to say we would like to change the mandates of the account. And we were told we can't. We cannot do that.
What are the charges against him? Why are you trying to get rid of him?
Thabo, I can safely say the following. Safe. That we went on to a forensic investigation against him. And that forensic investigation has come up with a preliminary outcome and report. And we know that somebody is going to have to face the courts and the police.
Sure. And Mr. Rapitsi, what I'm trying to find out, if you're going to suspend a CEO, as we have seen with PIC, SAA, there needs to be an allegation. What are those allegations?
You see, I don't want a situation, Tabo, where somebody will say it was the first time I heard about it on radio.
But did you save him? Did you save him with appropriate papers? Did you follow procedure? Does he know what the allegations are?
Correct. He knows what the allegations. In fact, he even knew when the forensic investigation was taking place.
Then share with us. Then, if he knows you would have followed the process, share with us. What has he done?
Well, we want to know what is going on, because our matter. You can go to the police station in Orlando and find out, or you can go to the what do you call them, the commercial crimes unit, and they will tell you there is a case there. You're a journalist
against him.
You can go there.
Is there a case against him, Pomhlongo? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is it a case of fraud, corruption? What case is it?
Well, it is theft and money laundering. Straightforward.
Okay. And right now he's in contempt of court because the court had placed you guys as the board of directors or the board members, and he's refusing to vacate. Where to from now? Because he's not going anywhere. He's in his office perhaps as we speak.
Well, where we go is that we must follow the letter of the law. We must say there is the court order on the 23rd of July. He is in contempt of it. There is a signed terms of reference with ICASA, which he signed to say, I will not call meetings, I will not call police, meetings and all those kind of things. We will leave these things to the law.
Have you approached the courts about this?
Yes. We have approached the courts, and it is up to the courts to tell us what we need to do.
And your message perhaps to the community of Soweto now?
To the community of Soweto, I would say that they should stick to the law, the letter of the law, and stop listening to people who are misleading them.
Rapitse Monso is chairperson of SMRC, also known as Josie FM, 27 minutes after 4 o'clock.
EWN Business.
He may be sitting on a chair, but he's not a chairperson. His name is Stephen Grotes. I saw him earlier on TV, looking debonair with a very gorgeous tie and a lovely suit. Grotes, how are you doing?
Good afternoon. Did you get a doctorate since I last saw you? I don't think I've seen you wearing glasses like that. They're very scholarly.
Gosh. Is it a Preserve exclusive for doctors to wear glasses?
Well, I'm not a doctor and I wear glasses.
So,
do they come with a cap and a gown and is there a ceremony?
Well, no. Sadly not. I'm too lazy, but we'll get there someday. What's the latest, bro?
I sit too much. The JSE All Share up strongly, up 1.85%. The Rand is trending in the right way. Inflation came in lower than expected, Tubble, but, oil staying where it is. The JSE All Share up 1.85%, 115,420 points. Financials up a third of a percent. Industrials up 0.72%, and then resources up very strongly, up 4.81%. Gold prices are up 3% on the day. Platinum up nearly 4%, and that's having the predictable impact, as you would imagine, on our indices. DRD Gold is up nearly 11% today. Their headline earnings up 89%, mainly because of higher gold prices for the year to the end of June. They were able to contain their operating costs. They are investing heavily in a sort of new approach, Vision 2028, they call it, over the next couple of years. They're able to beat their guidance significantly, so it produced a lot more gold than you might have thought that it would, or that they were expecting. So, and then platinum miners, Northam, Implat, Sibanye, all up by well over 7%. Anglo, Gold, Goldfields all up by well over 5%. ARM up by 5.6% as well on the day. So very strong results. Inflation finally coming down for the first time in 5 months. For July, down to 4.3%, mainly because of lower food price inflation. You would have to go back to 2010 and, the black-eyed peas or something to see food price inflation at these levels. Municipal tariffs were lower than last year, the increases. Not that you do feel it, and fuel prices were lower in July than they were in June. I hope you enjoyed that while it lasted. And then Cashbuild reporting headline earnings will be down by between 5 and 10%. Earnings per share will be down by around 25%. Italtile down 6.22%. And then Investec down around 3%. Pick and Pay down 2.28%. And ShopRite also down 1.44%. In a week that's really going to be remembered for being a bad week for Spar. They're down. In the US, so Moderna, the big drugs company, has reported the success of a trial that would help to deal with skin cancer and melanomas, and that's really pushed its share price up dramatically today and helping other indices too. The Dow Jones is up 0.5%, the Nasdaq is down 0.18%, the S&P 500 is up 0.3%. The gold price, $4,461.58, platinum $1,781.20, Brent crude $91.28, the rand stronger too, 16.11 to the dollar, to the euro 18.80, to the British pound 21.95. Doctor, I'll see you in an hour.
From your mouth to God's ears, Stephen Grotes, exactly 4:30. Bali Dlamini standing by for Eyewitness News headlines. Bali, hi.
Thanks, Tabo. Good afternoon. Well, the DA in Parliament has decided to remove MP Mark Burke from serving on Parliament's finance committees. DA parliamentary leader George Mikalakis announced this afternoon that the move has been taken as a precautionary measure. This after it emerged that the fintech company founded by Burke and currently run by his brother is under investigation by the South African Reserve Bank for exchange control violations. Yesterday, Burke clarified that he is no longer the chairperson of the Costello Group of companies and resigned from the company 2 years ago when he chose to pursue a political career. Mikalakis says he took the decision to remove Burke as the party's parliamentary finance spokesperson following consultations with him.
We have decided that out of an abundance of caution and to avoid any perceptions of a conflict of interest, he will no longer serve on the finance committee or in the finance cluster, while the company he is a beneficiary of is the subject of an inquiry by the SA Reserve Bank.
The Western Cape is heading into the drier summer months with dam levels lower than this time last year, but water restrictions are not yet on the cards. Provincial dams are currently at about 77% fulls compared with around 90% at the same time last year. Cape Town dams have also declined from 77.8% last week to 77.2% this week. Despite the drop, the Provincial Water and Sanitation Department says the situation remains manageable. Ntutu Salonene has more.
The department says heavy rains in May help replenish water supplies, cushioning the impact of below-average rainfall recorded during winter. Some catchment areas in the Goritz and Olifantsdoorn catchments are at full capacity, while Clan William Dam is almost 96% full. The Akkerkloof Dam in Knysna has also continued to rise, reaching 60% from 58% last week. Provincial Water and Sanitation Department head Ntombizanele Mbila Mupariwa says they expect more rainfall in the coming weeks and is confident provincial dam levels could reach 80%.
However, if we don't get to the 80%, we are going to look at the model that is going to be run in November, where we are going to come up with a solution whether we are going to implement water restrictions or not.
For now, the department says there is no need to introduce water restrictions. Ndutuzela Nene, Eyewitness News.
And the remains of 84 Namibian nationals, including 2 freedom fighters, are being repatriated after a decade-long search for their graves. The bulk of the remains were unethically collected more than 100 years ago from indigenous people. They were kept in the Izigo South African Museum in Cape Town, where the 2 governments hosted the official send-off today. Quentin Mjala was there.
The families of Festus Nehale and Simon Yelanga stood emotionally in front of their caskets during a ceremony where some of Namibia's traditional leaders at the repatriation ceremony. The 2 had been arrested in Namibia in 1974 and imprisoned on Robben Island, where they died. They were buried at Maitland and Guguletu cemeteries respectively, from where they had been exhumed. Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Gayton McKenzie said he had been tasked by President Ramaphosa to expedite the process of repatriating struggle heroes and the remains of those who had been unethically collected.
They've never been freed, but today they're going home.
McKenzie called for access to Robben Island Museum to be made free for primary school children so that they would not forget South Africa's struggle history. Quintum Gyala, Eyewitness News, Cape Town.
A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Lows of between 6 and 13 degrees and highs of between 30 and 31.
Germiston heading towards Brakpan. Roadworks causing about a 30-minute delay. N17 eastbound from Wits Rifles to Rondebold. Leaving Sandton heading towards the M1. Traffic also heavily backed up on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greyston.
The top story in EWN. The DA in Parliament has decided to remove MP Mark Burke from serving on Parliament's finance committees.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
This would have been the first anniversary of the National Dialogue had it launched. It failed to launch because we have, in my opinion, entrenched ourselves in this culture of talking at each other, not to each other. Part of the reason why South Africa became the country that everybody spoke of is because we had found a way of speaking to each other with the view to creating a better future for all South Africans. I would like to see more people talking to each other.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Welcome Spring to Josie on 6 September at Nyrock Sculpture Park in the heart of Cradle of Humankind. Inspired by the sounds of Scents of Africa, shaping rhythm and emotion, Spring Jazz continues its tradition of artistic excellence, inspiring contemplation and celebration, a breath taken in wonder, gratitude and community, featuring performances by Ndabo Zulu's Umgidi Ensemble, Nomfundo Kaluva, Vuyo Viwe, Sisonke Konti, and Shane Cooper's Spirit Whisper. Limited tickets are available from nyroxarts.com. Nyrox is a private, not-for-profit foundation to benefit the arts. All income is used to maintain the grounds, the artist residency program, and artist support.
As a business owner, you're always looking for ways to save money. But have you looked at saving on your business insurance premium? With Outsurance Business Insurance, you could save big, like Bosmansdam High School.
We were with our previous insurance for 10 years plus before switching to Outsurance Business Insurance.
We are saving 3,705 Rand per month.
It was so quick and easy, we should have switched sooner.
Ready to switch and save? Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is street ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting, luxury.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Tibus. Tibus, you know what? It's true when they say when days are dark, friends are few. I had this friend of mine. We're still friends, but not like before. You know, we were friends from when we were still very small. And at one stage, we dated sisters. And out of that relationship, we had kids with those sisters. He had his son, I had my daughter. Unfortunately, my daughter passed on. So whatever I used to do, I used to make a space for him. It's either work or whatever, because he was not doing very well. Until the guy betrayed me, you know. I lost my job. He convinced my girlfriend to date his friend, you know. That's where, you know, I couldn't take it anymore. And then I just cut him off. You know, and then we continue, but we still greet each other, you know. So that's what I'm saying, you know, friends sometimes, it's better if you have your relatives around, your wife, your kids, your next of kin, make them your friends, and then you live peacefully, because you don't know what other people think about you. You know, that's, that's it, Tabo. It happens, man. Thank you.
Hi, Tabo. So a few years ago, I had two friends. I'll call them friend A and friend B. And they knew each other, but they were not friends. So friend B's brother had a shop and sold something to me, and friend A wanted that thing. And I facilitated the deal, but unfortunately she got scammed. And guess who had to pay the money? Me, because the deal didn't pull through. So friend A was obviously disappointed about this, and we both questioned how could the friend B's brother do that to me. But when friend B now went and invited friend A to her wedding because they, like I said, we were all colleagues at some point. And friend A went to the wedding without telling me. I felt betrayed because I would have at least expected her to let me know that, okay, I know we had this issue with your other friends, but she invited me to her wedding and I'm going to go. And I thought I was the more closer friend and, she would put my feelings first. So, yeah.
Very much interesting. And in case you're wondering why those voice notes, I asked earlier on about loyalty to friends. How loyal are you and what sort of loyalty do you expect from your friends? Do you inherit their beef? Do you take up their fights? Or you just say, where do I enter? Is that what you say? Let us know. 072 702 1702. 20 minutes to 5.
EWN Sport.
From someone who takes loyalty very, very, very seriously, especially if she's your friend. Tholakele Mganga will give us the very latest in the world of sports. Hi, Tholakele.
Hi, Thabo. While Sports Minister Gaten McKenzie has reiterated CAF's stance of support for FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who continues to face heavy criticism over his attempt to sell off stakes in the World Cup and other competitions to private investors. That support comes on the back of the Welsh FA calling for Infantino to step down because of the harm that's been done to football as a result of his now scrapped plans. For McKenzie, he says Infantino should serve one final term as he begins to lay the groundwork for Patrice Motsepe to replace him.
We are moving with Dr. Motsepe as the new president of FIFA. Even him, Gianni Infantino, he must bring his support to Dr. Patrice Motsepe. So let him serve his term. We are not in a hurry as Africa. But it's time for an African president. And no one better than Patrice Motsepe. So let Infantino do his last term in preparation for Dr. Patrice Motsepe.
Mamelodi Sundowns against Morumo Gallants is the only Betway Premiership fixture scheduled this evening as their two make up for missing the opening round of games. The Brazilians are looking for an improved defensive performance. That's after Grant Gekana and his teammate shipped 5 goals in their 3 games so far this season.
Set pieces should be something that, we enjoy defending. We've just been unfortunate this season. Maybe lapse of concentration here and there. But it's something that we're still working on now, and we obviously want to get better. But I don't think it's something that's making us panic in any way. It's just about us improving how we deal with set pieces.
Faye Tunnicliffe has been named in the Proteas women's squad for their T20 series against Zimbabwe next month. There's also maiden call-ups for Caitlin Weinhant and Tabiseng Nene and Luyanda Nzuza, while Laura Valtrad will captain the team. For Coach Manja Mashimbi, he's discussed the return of Tunnicliffe, who missed out on selection for June's World Cup.
Faye has been pretty consistent domestically. To see her perform at the emerging level was really nice to see. So I also had the opportunity to go and watch and see how she goes about her business as well. You can never say never to a player that consistently domestically also does well.
And Red Bull's Isaac Hatchcar will miss this weekend's Dutch Grand Prix after injuring his wrist while boxing and will be replaced by Liam Lawson, who normally races for Red Bull's second team Racing Bulls. Lawson's replacement will be Yuki Tsunoda, who was dropped from the leading team at the end of last season. At the same time, Carlos Sainz has signed a multi-year contract extension with Williams that will keep him with the team for the 2027 Formula One season and beyond. Tholakele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 rands. My ask to you, Mr. Karabo Chali,
Yes,
how
sir.
do the roads look?
Well, at this stage, we still have those roadworks in the Germiston area causing about a 30-minute delay. Heading towards Brakpan, that's the N17 eastbound from Wits Rifles to Rondebold Road. Driving through the Joburg CBD is just peak hour traffic through there on the M1 south from Killarney Benz to the Crown Interchange. Leaving Sandton, traffic remains heavily backed up on Catherine Street. This is heading towards the M1 between Rivonia Road and Grayston. In Soweto, Pimville, some traffic pressure on Chris Honey Road opposite the UJ campus. While in Bryanston, heading towards Four Ways, slow-moving traffic N1 south from Rivonia Road to Winnie Mandela Drive. In Centurion, expect some delays on the N1 northbound from the Brakfontein interchange all the way to the R21 Flying Saucer interchange. If you come across any other traffic issues, kindly WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 50 was, as per my last email, too passive-aggressive. Oh, the torture. Well, with the Outsurance pointsman on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702 proudly presents the Dina Letty stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2026.
We're gonna have some fun. You guys ready?
This is Jazz Reignited.
Jazz.
Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
15 minutes to 5 o'clock. John is not here. I'm Thabo Sholomashao instead. Great having you with us. Tolagele is in the studio with us, and so is Jonathan Feben Kabazele, Karabo Charlie, and the other Karabo Malapile is also here. And of course, you are joining us. And right now, I just wanted to find out from you, because it's almost dinner time, and after that, you'll be going to sleep. Do you have dreams that have been recurring or taking a certain shape of late, or you just wake up to nightmares? I just want to find out about your dreams, because there was a very interesting study that was undertaken, and the sample was very huge. About 3,700 people were put together. They were looked at, and the dream reports actually produced something very interesting. The participants ranged from the age of 18 to 70. They also recorded their daytime experiences over those particular 2 weeks, and they asked them about what is it that they were dreaming of. And the results were very astounding, because dreams tend to integrate waking elements in metaphorical or associative ways. That simply means that it is not only premised on reality. What you dream about has got very little to do with perhaps 702, Tolagele. There's more to it. They found that there's more to it than that. But what was also interesting was the fact that during COVID, many of us had emotionally charged dreams influenced by our circumstances. So I wanted to find out from Jono, Karabo, and Tolagele. Jono first. Do you have recurring dreams? And do your dreams mean anything to you at all?
I mean, I must say, of late, in my adult years, I haven't had any recurring dreams.
In the past 50 years or so.
Yes, my dear friend, that's very true. No, I haven't had any recurring dreams, but I do remember when I was younger, around about 10, 11, I used to have this recurring dream where I would be flying over the ocean.
Yeah.
Like
Superman.
My body would be flying over the ocean. And it wasn't a nice dream. It was like a very uncomfortable dream. I got a very uncomfortable feeling after that dream. And then, luckily, I never dreamt of it again. But that was a recurring dream over and over and over again at that age of my life.
Do you believe in dreams at all? You think they mean anything in your life?
I mean, I think dreams can be, your subconscious, and whatever is on your subconscious, that could be, there could be a message there. And I mean, some people say that some of the dreams you have are messages.
Yeah.
That people are trying to send you.
Sure. Well, this research says a person's sleep pattern had a relatively weak association with a dream content. So maybe you sleep from 9 to 1 every single day. It's got very little to do with your dream pattern. Your dream pattern is exactly what it is. Tolagele, do dreams mean anything to you at all?
They do. One dream that I had for the longest time before COVID, and the first year of COVID, if you could call it that, in 2020, I don't know if you've ever watched the movie The Freedom Writers. No. So there's a scene where Hilary Swank walks into the high school, and like all of the kids are just like looking at her. So I would always have that dream of me being in a high school and walking in and the kids looking at me. And then the year I applied to do my teaching degree at UNISA, I stopped having the dream. So I had it for like 3 years
Really?
consistently. And that's how I knew
That means
I
something.
had to do something about it. And then once I applied, I just stopped having the dream.
Oh my goodness me. So that was the message. Mr. Charlie? Except for Fafi numbers, which you play in Soweto every day. What else do you dream about?
Man, I'll be rich if those dreams were true. But usually when I have recurring dreams is when I'm like grieving or mourning.
Yeah.
So maybe like the first one that I used to have was when I lost my uncle. I think I was 11 years old. He was very close. He was like a brother to me. And then I would like have this continuous dream of him picking me up at school. And then my mother was like, okay, to stop it, you need something of his that you can carry around. So he gave me his handkerchief. So I carried that around. And after a few days, it stopped. And then it happened again with my dad. And then my dad was like, okay, when my dad passed on, I used to have the same recurring dream, and my mother gave me one of his hats, and I'll just randomly wear his hat around, and then after a few days, they're gone.
Really? Very interesting. Great hearing from you. I'd like to hear from you about your dreams. What do you dream about, and do dreams mean anything to you? Please feel free to share that with us on 072 702 1702.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
Statistics South Africa has assured consumers will have some relief from rising prices, with fuel expenses expected to significantly decline. Latest figures show annual inflation eased from 5% in June to 4.3% in July.
The Stats SA data shows one of the biggest positives for consumers was at the petrol station in July. Fuel prices fell 7.8% between June and July, helping to bring transport inflation down to 8.9%. The cost of electricity, gas and other fuels was up 8.3% year on year.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Mandy Winner's podcast, The Hope Dealers, tells the story of the people changing the narrative in Joburg. Mandy has spent weeks witnessing the passion and the collective action of the Hope Dealers, who are individuals and organizations working to restore and rejuvenate Jozi. Catch a new episode of the podcast on the Midday Report every Wednesday after the news headlines, or watch the full The Hope Dealers video on Prime Media Plus. This week, Mandy spends time with Sfiso Gumbi and the Urban Sefa team, bringing dignity and redemption to rubbish reclaimers who collect what we call rubbish. The Hope Dealers on Prime Media Plus.
This is a message from Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some become bone marrow stem cell donors and give blood cancer patients a second chance at life. The South African Bone Marrow Registry needs you to help them make this a reality. I am a stem cell donor, and I ask you to sign up to be a stem cell donor today, or donate to the Patient Assistance Program. Visit sabmr.co.za to find out more.
I'm a millionaire, and yes, I am a millionaire. And not a Mampara. I said goodbye to Mampara week long ago. And I know you're not a Mampara. Say it with me. I'm not a Mampara. Then go play the lotto for just 5 rand so that you're not weak on Mampara Week. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sisekaya.
702 Podcast
on PrimeMediaPlus.com.
Great having you with us. Welcome to the show. 7 minutes to 5 o'clock. John Perlman is not here. Thabo Shola Mashao in his stead. And right in front of me is Clement Manyatela. No, he's not throwing forward to Stephen Groote's show because Stephen is here. He's here for a very benevolent reason to share with us more about his foundation as a patron and founder. Clement, hi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
This seems long overdue. Share a bit about the foundation. What do you intend doing with it?
No, definitely long overdue. And this is something I've always dreamt of doing from the time I left my village of Falbank in Mpumalanga. When I left high school there are two main things that I experienced that I remember thinking, I would want the experience to be different for other learners that are coming after me. The first was that we absolutely had no career guidance. The school I went to, and I think that's a familiar story for a lot of rural areas. So you don't really know what you want to be. I didn't know. I knew I'm interested in television. I would like to do some radio, but I didn't know if that's something I can turn into a career. We picked up careers like, I want to be a gynecologist, or I want to be a biologist, or a doctor, because they sound fancy and we were told you're going to make a lot of money, and not because there's actual interest. And as a result of that, you end up going to study things you don't really like, and then you change, which is what I did. I changed later to go study journalism. And I just want to use the foundation to provide career guidance opportunities for learners in rural areas. I want to partner with universities. I want to partner with different professions as well that can come out and say, hey, I'm willing to go to that rural area as an accountant, as a doctor, as a presenter, different professions, to say to these learners, this is what's available, and let's guide them into really their future. So that's the first part of what the foundation will do. The second part is providing psychosocial support. So part of what I experienced growing up at home in Falbank was you get exposed to there's trauma, there's extreme poverty around you, whether your neighbors or your other family members. And I just remember how sometimes with the trauma that I would face, I would get to school and I don't have anybody to talk to. And I think there are a lot of learners in rural areas who are going through a lot of issues. They don't have anyone to talk to.
You're very big on mental health. Listening to your show, you prioritize that so much. Why is that important, especially for those who are coming up through the foundation?
Because I know what trauma can do. Like I've experienced trauma as a child. I've witnessed violence at home growing up, and I know what that turned me into as an adult. You know, when I go through therapy, there's a lot of things that I have to unlearn and undo. So I really want to make a difference for the learners there. So what we're going to do is partner with organizations that are going to provide us with psychologists that are going to be stationed in these schools that we adopt in rural areas for about 4 to 6 months, so that these learners have someone to talk to. We don't even have social workers there. And that can get to affect your education. So those are the two main things that the foundation will be trying to solution for.
How far do you want to go? How wide do you want to reach?
So in the beginning, we starting by adopting the first school, my high school, the school of Hlalagahle. That's where I went. And my dream would be to adopt at least 2 schools every single year. And when you adopt 2 schools every single year, we're going to offer career guidance opportunities, career guidance counseling, and we're going to have psychologists at those schools for a specific period of time. I think that's what I want to do. I want to start like that, 2 schools every year. Hopefully we get to 5 schools every year at some point. I just want to make a difference, even if it's 2 learners who are impacted by the work that we do, and they have a different experience to what I had growing up in my village. That, for me, would be a dream come true.
And today is very special. I mean, you are launching it. Share a little bit about today.
So we're launching the foundation today here at Prime Media. I'm very nervous, but I'm really looking
good.
To it.
You are looking good.
I'm trying.
It makes up for the nerves.
I'm trying to mask up the nerves, my brother. But I'm really looking forward to starting the work. I think today is the beginning. You know, it's not an achievement. It's the beginning of this great work and great impact that we want to make in these far-flung, forgotten areas. And they are forgotten, if we're being honest. And I'm looking forward to just also extending a hand to the people we've invited here who can possibly partner with us. You know, I want someone to sit and think, I can relate with that story because I was born in a rural area, or I went to school there, or I know relatives who are like that, and that's their reality. How can I contribute towards trying to change that reality? Because there are a lot of children that are left behind because they just don't have guidance.
Yet they're expected to perform well, to produce amazing results, and to compete competently with their peers when they get to this side of the world, Joburg.
Yep, they are. And I think here lies an opportunity for us to try and make a difference. Let's show these young ones in the rural areas that it's possible. You can be guided to a better future for yourself. And you know, if there are people who want to partner with us just drop us an email, info@clementmanyatela.foundation.co.za.
Yeah.
In fact, if you Google the Clement Manyatela Foundation, you'll get on the website and all the information is there. We want to try and make a difference. And I know there are a lot of people who know what I'm talking about. When you were in high school, you didn't know what you wanted to be. And there was no one to guide you. The teachers did the best they can, but that wasn't sufficient, unfortunately. And I want to create an opportunity to try and change that in some schools.
A noble cause, Clement, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that with your foundation kicking off now, we'll have lesser and lesser people going to appear at the Madlanga Commission. Really appreciate your time and all the best with the Clement Manyatela Foundation. Clement Manyatela is the founder and patron of the Clement Manyatela Foundation. Exactly 5 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Fadil Adams insists he did not acquire confidential documents in a shady way, and Cape Peninsula students refuse to vacate the Bellville campus. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Suspended Member of Parliament Fadil Adams claims he informed DA MP Ian Cameron about the classified documents he received in October 2 years ago. Adams is being cross-examined at the Madlanga Commission over his reports to police and the Investigative Directorate Against Corruption. He accused senior crime intelligence officers of misconduct based on documents he found in his office. The documents contained at least 10 pages packed inside a brown envelope marked top secret. Adams testified that he raised the matter to Cameron, who is the chairperson of Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Police.
I didn't take it to him. I mentioned it to him. I said, I've got these documents. They look pretty serious. I did not take it to him. I did not hand it to him.
Okay. And you described it to him?
Yes, ma'am.
And you say he was serious about it?
He looked genuinely concerned. I told him I was going to lay a case.
Oh, you did tell him?
Yes.
Okay. And what did he say to that?
He said, no, it's the right thing to do.
The Cape Peninsula University of Technology says it doesn't intend to forcibly evict students from its residences. The university issued an order informing students that all residences should be closed as part of a shutdown until further notice. The directive follows a week of protests, including the burning of a building in Bellville on Monday evening. The unrest comes after CPUT's draft 2027 recovery plan, which proposed that students pay 7,000 rand for registration. CPUT spokesperson Lauren Kansley says no transport will be provided to students from today. Kansley says management is uncertain about what action will be taken when the students refuse to leave today.
We are still hoping that there can be an engagement with the student leadership. We're hoping that that could shift in some sort of way. But we're certainly not looking to evict people violently from the residences. Students have already been leaving.
Political parties have been afforded more time to consider draft terms of reference for Parliament's impeachment committee. While the ANC complained that procedures were not fair towards the president, the MK party said he did not enjoy any special privileges in this process. Ramaphosa is facing possible impeachment over events that transpired after the theft of US dollars from his Palapala farm in 2020. Today, Ramaphosa delayed the committee's plans to sign off on an evidence leader for the inquiry, saying he believed Advocate Thandazani Madonsela is conflicted. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
Committee Chairperson Makashule Garner today informed MPs of a late-night letter he received from the President, pointing to situations he believes makes Advocate Thandazani Madonsela unsuitable to lead evidence in his impeachment inquiry. Garner says the recommendation made by the committee 2 weeks ago for Madonsela's appointment is ready to proceed to the next phase.
From Parliament side, all the signatures have been obtained, but because there's this development, we cannot ignore it.
Meanwhile, the ANC's Cameron Dugmore objected to a 2-hour limit for the President to deliver an opening evidence statement before the inquiry, while also taking issue with how the President's witnesses would be treated.
The initial evidence from the President, it should be a reasonable period, not necessarily restricted.
The committee has deferred the decision on an evidence leader pending further legal advice, while political parties have been given another week to make further written submissions on the draft terms of reference. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
New figures from Stats SA show food and non-alcoholic beverage inflation dropped sharply in July, giving shoppers some relief at the till. Food inflation dropped to just 0.9% in July and now running below the country's overall inflation rate of 4.3%. While fuel prices are still up more than 20% year on year, food price inflation is cooling. Here's Investec Chief Economist Annabelle Bishop.
Food price inflation has not been affected by higher oil prices this year, despite concerns earlier in 2026. In fact, food price inflation has actually had a moderating impact overall on CPI inflation, without which the print would have been significantly higher.
And authorities in Belgium and Germany have lifted the last remaining evacuation orders in the border region following massive wildfires. Earlier today, water-dropping aircraft resumed operations, helping to quell Belgium's largest wildfire in a century. Villagers in two Belgian hamlets were given the all-clear to return home, while a town in Germany was also posted a notice telling residents living near the border it was safe to go back. Gold is trading at $4,453.03 an ounce. The rand is at 16.15 to the dollar, 21.93 to the pound, 18.81 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $91.20 a barrel.
Germiston, we still have roadworks causing about a 30-minute delay on the N17 eastbound from Wits Rifles to Rondopole Road, leaving Sandton. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greyston Drive, and in Equestria, Pretoria, slow-moving traffic on Solomon Mahlangu between Stellenberg and the N4.
In your sport, Mamelodi Sundowns up against Marumo Gallants in the Betway Premiership this evening as they look to return to winning ways. Bernardo Silva says playing for Real Madrid is not for everyone as former Manchester City teammate Rodri joins Barcelona. And Michael Chekia returns to the Waratahs for the upcoming Super Rugby season.
A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg dropping to overnight lows of 8 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria 13 and 31, and Vereeniging 6 and 30 degrees. The top story in EWN The South. Suspended Member of Parliament Fadiel Adams claims he informed DA MP Ian Cameron about the classified documents he received in October 2 years ago.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Seven minutes after 5 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us. The final lap of the show. Drive with John Perlman. He's not here. My name is Thabo Sholemashao. I'm with you all the way till 6 o'clock. Lovely having you with us. Just to give you a quick heads up as to what to expect. This hour, we will speak to EWN reporter Karinda Jackmohan about the Madlanga Commission. What took place today, what were the highlights, and just to wrap the day up for us. Little bit later on, we'll ask if this is a marriage of convenience or an unholy alliance, or perhaps a match made in heaven. Afriforum and March collaboration. Professor Dek Kotze, Professor of Political Science at UNISA, will join us for that discussion and shed some academic insights on what this could mean. 8 minutes after 5 o'clock, please keep those calls coming through on 011-883-0702. Alternatively, you can just send a voice note or a text message to 072-702-1702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Good afternoon, Thabo and team. I am currently a 36-year-old, and I must say I am starting to get a bit very troubled of lately, because it's been about 4 or 5 years now. When I happen to dream of water, I don't have fear of water at all in my dreams. I would just walk under the water, I will stay under the water, I will sit, I will do everything I want without drowning. It's starting to concern me now. Every time I find myself underwater, I am able to breathe. I am able to do everything as if nothing is happening. Bye.
Hi. So people won't believe this, but my best friend's father is a Khoisan healer that interprets dreams, and dream symbolism doesn't make sense until you have someone that can interpret it. And a lot of things that he interpreted for me, like I've dreamt of something and he said someone in your family is going to die, and like a week later, like someone died. And like I'd have a dream and he was like, you're going to get pregnant. And I was like, no, I can't. And I literally fell pregnant.
Very much interesting. 9 minutes after 5 o'clock. And Karabo Charlie standing by with traffic. But before that, I would love to find out from you. Your favorite feature is coming up. Music, that is. Is there a band with a very strange name, a weird name, a creatively confusing name, just like a peanut butter conspiracy? A band like that, do you know of it? And what's your favorite song or any song from a band or an artist with a weird name? For me, this is it.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken.
They are called the Goo Goo Dolls. It doesn't get weirder than that, right? Remember the Crash Test Dummies? Those kinds of names. That's what we're looking for in a song from those bands on 072 702 1702. Do send that right away.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 rand. Something that I'll ask Mr. Karabo Charlie is, how are the roads looking right now, good sir?
Well, I can tell you that driving through Alexandra heading towards Germiston, you can now expect about a 30-minute delay. N3 south from the Patloot change to Van Buren, leaving Sense in traffic also heavily backed up on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greyston Drive, while in Equestria, Pretoria, slow-moving traffic. This is on Solomon Mahlangu between Stellenberg and the N4, and in Centurion, expect some delays on the N1 northbound between the Brakfontein interchange and the R21 Flying Saucer interchange. If you come across any other traffic issues, kindly WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Deciding to ignore the traffic report may cost you a dentist appointment, but deciding to stay with your current car insurance could be costing you thousands of rands in savings a year. With Outsurance, 36-year-old Jill saves a jaw-dropping 471 rands a month on her 2025 Hyundai i20. Switch to Outsurance. You too could be one quote away from having more money in your pocket every month. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
I know our members here are trying to figure out very hard where we could have lost one of our mic pop filters. So when you found it though, how did you decide that I'm actually going to have fun with this?
So initially I was warned to not even use it because, you know, it is an equipment of a broadcasting company. I'm aware of that. But I was like, I can play kind. And as soon as I kept it, it just looked so real and it was going to be a souvenir. The more I held it, it fit right perfectly into my tripod. And I was like, I can use this. And I just went with it and I just couldn't stop. And I saw animals. I was like, I wonder how this cow feels. Let's find out.
Tatu Zungu, she has been using the 702 mic pop filter.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
13 minutes after 5 o'clock. Will you survive the AI revolution or thrive? Regenesis presents the School of AI, the first of its kind in Africa, powered by 100 world-class AI experts, delivering cutting-edge training, consulting, and real-world AI solutions. Regenesis has embedded compulsory AI modules across all their programs and 12 of their schools, from business and law to education and technology. Join the movement now. Enroll at regenesis.net. Regenesis, one institution leading the way.
Feel the suspense when you unravel the riddle and embark on amazing adventures with Hollywood Bets and Spinazonke Mystery Parcel. You could win your share of 1 million rand in cash and bonus bets when you unlock the prize in the parcel. Bet 2 rand or more on selected Playtech slots every Sunday and Wednesday between 8 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. Available now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Thinking about selling gold or diamonds, but not sure who to trust? At Gold Capital, we don't pressure, we don't rush. We simply give you a free, honest valuation and pay instantly if you're happy. For over 30 years, Gold Capital has helped South Africans turn jewelry, Kruger Rands, and gold coins into cash, earning thousands of 5-star Google reviews along the way. Get your free valuation today at goldcapital.co.za. Gold Capital, trusted since 1992.
Joy of Jazz. The Standard Bank Joy of Jazz returns on September 25 and 26.
Thank you so much.
Join 702 at the Dina Lady stage. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
National Coloured Congress leader Fadil Adams has conceded that he was not honest with the Madlanga Commission, but to share more on the story and what happened in the commission a little bit earlier on is EWN reporter Karinda Jackmoyne. Karinda, hi. Thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Back on the hot seat, Fadil Adams, that is. Of course, now today is conceding that he was not completely truthful to the Madlanga Commission. How did the commissioners take that?
Absolutely. It was much of the morning where he admitted that he wasn't entirely honest when he tried to explain why he didn't file his affidavits on time last week. In fact, he first said that he hadn't seen the commission's correspondence, but the commission pulled out an email from Adams around the same time that they emailed him with notice to come and testify and prepare his statement. So he then explained that while he had forgot about that correspondence, he received quite a reprimanding from the commissioners there in that regard, because they also have a strict timeline. They have to prepare for their final report in November. So they were quite frustrated. And that frustration seemed to sort of carry through along the commission or throughout Adams' testimony. Adams spent much of the day reading out his statement. So really, the commissioners and the evidence leader keeping silent at first, just allowing him to state his case. He continues to claim corruption within crime intelligence, claiming that the policing structures are being compromised by the likes of General Dumisani Khumalo and others, but without really giving substantive evidence. He then also described that press briefing by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi as being somewhat militaristic, saying that he thought it was going to be a coup at the time. He went on then to explain how he got those classified documents, which we now know formed the basis of his report that sparked the arrest of Khumalo and others. He says that in late October 2024, he opened his door to find a brown envelope marked top secret on his floor, and he presumed that that envelope had been slipped under his door. That envelope, he said, contained about 10 pages showing financial and personal statements of senior officers in which he said he felt there was a case to answer. Now, remember, Adams had opened about 6 criminal cases between Cape Town and Gauteng, and he now claims that he did this on the advice of a now late retired general, prominent man, Andre Lincoln. Lincoln died last year, so there's no actually knowing whether or not that advice came from Lincoln. But that has been sort of left in the air, and we'll hear more about it tomorrow. There's a few other claims that Adams has made, including asking for a recording of his meeting with IDAC's advocate Grishantha Ramsamy, claiming she wasn't forthright in her testimony. So there's much in the air right now, but we just ended off as the cross-examination started and as evidence leaders were pointing out holes in his testimony. So that will get off or kick off tomorrow's testimony at 9:30, where now he'll have to explain why he made copies of these classified documents, why he held on it for so long, and what exactly are his reasons to claim corruption.
And I'm sure tomorrow we'll speak to you again, Karinda, for you to give us the very latest. Much appreciated. Karinda Jackmohan, EWN reporter, 19 after 5.
702 podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
Lobby groups Afriforum and the March and March movement have agreed to jointly pursue legal matters on mutual interest and to support each other on issues related to the rule of law and fight against crime in communities, including illegal immigration. Is it a marriage of convenience, an unholy alliance, or just a matter of birds of a feather flocking together? Professor Dek Kotze joins us right now. Prof is with UNISA, Professor of Political Sciences. Prof, thanks for your time. Really appreciate your time. Welcome to 702.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Marriage of convenience or just an unholy alliance? Which is it, Prof? And is this a match made in heaven?
Yeah, this is a very difficult question to answer. They come from so far away from each other in terms of political positions or ideological positions or so. They are clearly on opposite ends. And I think what is possibly a way in which I can maybe try to explain it is that I think March to March played their main card on the 30th of June. And with this massive countrywide campaigns and marches. And I think the big question for them is what next? They've really demonstrated themselves in terms of their presence and the influence that they have. But what is the follow-up? What is the next stage in their activities and in order to develop into a sustainable movement? And what I've seen from the reports is that they are dealing with Afriforum because they believe that Afriforum has developed a model which is becoming involved in community works. And that is indeed the case in many smaller towns across South Africa when it is dealing with infrastructural matters and so much. So I think this is what they are claiming that they want to do, that what they want to do something similar, and that they want to, in a sense, redefine themselves or away from purely focusing on illegal immigration in South Africa to a wider community-based organization. And they believe that Afriforum can give them actually advice on that. So that's on the face of it, what I think what is in the pipeline. But when it comes to real cooperation, when it comes to projects, that there's a more of a, let's say, a political content, I think they will not be able to get close to each other.
I was about to ask, because ideologically they are poles apart. One seems to be on the extreme left, and Afriforum has been accused before as a racist organization that has no time for black people. And I'm just wondering to what extent will time reveal the real motives of this marriage. Prof, is this relationship more likely to be around given very volatile South African political space?
Yes, that is so. And the other point which I think one should also trace is that they don't want to work in the party political space. There's no intention from March to March side, as in terms of what I've now read about them and seen about them, that they want to convert themselves into a political party or political movement even, in the more traditional sense, in the context of the coming elections. So I think what they are, in a sense, trying to do is to fill, which they might believe is an increasing component of the South African population who don't trust the political space, and that there's more people who are willing to work within the sort of social space or the civil society space, if you want to call it that, and that they want to therefore see an opportunity for themselves to build a much bigger organization, because that's in a sense what Afriforum did. They have a huge membership already, and it is, if you look at the Afriforum structure, it's actually very interesting. It consists of so many components. It's a trade union, it's a Afriforum as a movement, it's a publishers, it's an academic institutions, it's Soltech, the technical colleges. They have their own radio station, they have their own investment company, all of those things. So I'm not sure if March to Mars sees that as the type of a model of how to bring together the different needs or different components of their focus groups in society in order to provide a model for them, which in a sense then becomes almost automatically in competition with the political parties.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering about the two, given that Afriforum is maintaining unity within its constituency. Many would argue that much on much does not actually do that. It's throwing seeds of division amongst what ought to be its core constituencies. So in this instance, what does Afriforum have to gain by entertaining much on much in this instance? What do they really have to get? Because on one end, you'd say Jacinta and the team, they're looking for perhaps the black book of funders coming from Afriforum. But what does Afriforum have to gain?
Well, I think, first of all, it's legitimization. It is that they will be able to say, look here, we are not just working with Afrikaans-speaking people or white people. Now we are look at the people with whom we are working. So the accusation against them that they are racist or focused only on specific racial groups, they will be able to use that as an argument against that accusation. So that is exceptionally convenient for them. They are to some extent associated with this notion of a genocide, and the Afrikaners who have now, a few of them have gone to America, and they are criticized for that because they are seen as dividing South African society instead of bringing them together. Now, this is a way in which they can say, but look, the fact that we work together with such a big movement now shows the contrary. So I think they are going to use it more for political reasons than anything else.
Prof, thanks very much for your time. And these are indeed interesting times. And only time will tell if this will be just a marriage of convenience or a long-term relationship that really promises to do and offer South Africa what it needs. Rule of law. We'll see about that. 27 minutes after 5 o'clock.
For more about 702,
go to primemediaplus.com. EWN Business.
Figures, digits, and numbers. Stephen Grotes has got all of that for you. Stephen, what's the latest? Good afternoon.
That's a great intro. Figures, digits, and numbers. Thank you. Thabo, good afternoon. So I can see why you got a doctorate. The JSE All Share, really strong day, mainly because gold and platinum prices are so much stronger. Platinum prices up nearly 4.5%. Gold up nearly 3.5%. So the All Share pushed up to 2.41%, 116,051 points. Financials up 0.55, industrials up 0.9, resources up over 6% on the day. Thabo, the lead, the standout, of course, there is DRD Gold up 12.25%. DRD Gold also reporting today their headline earnings up 89%, higher gold prices. They were able to contain costs. We'll speak to their CEO on the Money Show this evening. PHP's up nearly 18%. Imp and then platinum miners, Implats, Northam, Sabania, all up by over 8%. Anglo Gold, Harmony, Pan-African Resources, all up by over 7%. Italtal ending the day down 3.57%, and Investec down around 3% as well, while Pick n Pay and Boxer are both down by around 2% or so. Canal Plus is also down 2%. Inflation finally coming down for the first time in 5 months. So inflation for July down to 4.3%. Lower food price inflation, the main reason for that. Part of it's sort of base effects. Remember, you had the big foot and mouth epidemic that pushed up meat prices, and meat prices come down or sort of go back a little bit, and that means that the food price inflation this year is lower because it's compared to the previous year. Municipal tariff increases were also lower than last year. Fuel prices were lower in July than in June. I would think that with oil at over $90 a barrel, they are going to go up. And Cashbuild reporting its headline earnings will be down by between 5 and 10%. In the US, news out of Moderna, it's had really good results from testing a new treatment for skin cancer. That's pushed up its shares dramatically. The Dow Jones is up 0.55, the Nasdaq is up 0.37, the S&P 500 is up 0.57. The gold price, $4,483.85 an ounce. Platinum, $1,790.80. Brent crude, $92.21. That's not far off 100, you know. So, yeah, I think that is going to push things. And then the rand to the dollar, 16.10, to the euro, 18.78, to the British pound, 21.91. On the Money Show tonight, DRD Gold, obviously, and Nhlanhla Nene, a former finance minister. He's the new chair of the Finance and Fiscal Commission. We just talked to him a little bit in sort of very general terms about what he sees the role of the commission as doing. We'll talk inflation. The JSE is pressing ahead with proposals to look at the way in which headline earnings per share is calculated. It's around accounting standards. I can't wait on the Money Show this evening. I mean, just what we need, an accounting standards conversation with no numbers to show people because it's on the radio. And then I don't know if you've come across our shapeshifter. You've been in broadcasting communications a long time. Nomvuyiso Bati, she worked here at Prime Media at one point. Yeah, she has been a counsellor at ICASA. She sat, careful, she sat and adjudicated on-air complaints. So we'll call her ma'am and stand up for the proceeding. She's now the CEO of the Association of Comms and Technology, representing some of the big employers in that space. Yeah. She's your shapeshifter this evening. She's worked as a regulator in government as an acting DG and a special advisor to a minister and in the private sector. And I really want to ask her about the differences between those things.
Yeah. She's well equipped then to execute her duties competently.
Yes. Yeah. Ma'am. Stephen Curtis, EWN Business.
The ma'am is very important, especially if she was in charge of adjudicating on-air complaints. 29 minutes to 6 o'clock. Mbali standing by with Eyewitness News headlines. Hi, Mbali.
Thanks, Tabo. Good afternoon. Some CPUT students have defied a 4 p.m. eviction deadline, with hundreds still on the Bellville campus even now. The university gave students 24 hours to vacate its residences yesterday, following disruptive protests that saw a building torched at the campus on Monday. But the deadline has now passed, with students camping on the lawn outside the admin building with their luggage. Ntutu Zalonene is there.
Student leaders have described the eviction deadline as evil and accused management of failing to consult the SRC. SRC Deputy President Tumelo Nzimande says the university instructed students to leave residences and not the campus. He says the decision is unfair to students from outside Cape Town and those completing work integrated learning.
You have students that are doing work integrated learning in this university that are still starting in the industry. So how are these students going to go and work and make sure they buy mayonnaise if their families this coming December, if the university is going to chase them out?
University management, student leaders and higher education department officials are expected to meet today to try to resolve the standoff. Ntutu Zalonene, Eyewitness News at CPUT's Bellville campus.
The DA in Parliament has decided to remove MP Mark Burke from serving on Parliament's finance committees. DA parliamentary leader George Mikalakis announced this afternoon that the move has been taken as a precautionary measure. This after it emerged that the fintech company founded by Burke and currently run by his brother is under investigation by the South African Reserve Bank for exchange control violations. Yesterday, Burke clarified that he is no longer the chairperson of the Castello Group of companies and resigned from the company 2 years ago when he chose to pursue a political career. Mikalakis says he took the decision to remove Burke as the party's parliamentary finance spokesperson following consultations.
We have decided that out of an abundance of caution and to avoid any perceptions of a conflict of interest, he will no longer serve on the finance committee or in the finance cluster, while the company he is a beneficiary of is the subject of an inquiry by the SA Reserve Bank.
And authorities in Belgium and Germany have lifted the last remaining evacuation orders in the border region following massive wildfires. Earlier today, water-dropping aircraft resumed operations, helping to quell Belgium's largest wildfire in a century. Villagers in 2 Belgian hamlets were given the all-clear to return home, while a town in Germany was also posted a notice telling residents living near the border it was safe to go back. A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, lows of between 6 and 13 degrees and highs of between 30 and 31.
In Germiston, those roadworks are now causing more than an hour delay on the N17 eastbound heading towards Brakpan between Wits Rifles and Rondebolt. Tlipoki still in Ekurhuleni. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic on Osborne Road between Dekema and Van Dijk. And in the Southgate area heading towards Soweto, there's traffic pressure N12 westbound between Xavier and the Deep Kloof interchange.
The top story in EWN, some CPUT students have defied a 4 p.m. eviction deadline with hundreds still on the Belleville campus.
Local government elections aren't about politics. They're about the roads you drive every day, the water you need, the electricity you rely on, the rates you pay, the services you deserve. You see, local government isn't somewhere else. It's your neighborhood, your street, your home. So in the run-up to the local government elections, 702, Cape Talk and EWN will be where the issues that matter to you are put in the spotlight, where the tough questions are asked, where the crucial conversations begin, because this is more than local. It's personal. Follow every moment of the local government election on 702, Cape Talk and EWN.co.za. Download the EWN app.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. And not a Mampara. I said goodbye to Mampara week long ago. And I know you're not a Mampara. Say it with me. I'm not a Mampara. Then go play the lotto for just 5 rand so that you're not weak on Mampara week. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sisekhaya.
Just Andalex it. Do you have a sore throat? Andalex C Oral Rinse and Spray provides targeted relief from 1 minute that lasts up to 4 hours. It reduces pain and inflammation while numbing the affected areas. It also kills viruses and bacteria that cause sore throats to help prevent serious throat infections. Andalex, South Africa's #1 choice for sore mouth and throats. For more information, speak to your healthcare professional. Just Andalex it.
Andalex, a proud sponsor of The Masked Singer Season 3.
As a graduate professional, you know success takes time, discipline, and smart decisions. Retirement is no different. Years of saving and investing help build your wealth so it can support the retirement you deserve. Join us at the annual PPS Retirement Summit on 19 September and gain insights to grow and preserve your long-term wealth.
Because consistent contributions and protecting what you've built all add up. Visit pps.coza/retirement summit now. PPS, success is better shared. PPS is a licensed life insurer controlling company and authorized FSP.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Yeah, this is Tabo from Pretoria. I just want to comment about the guy who says he dreams water. My advice is immediately when you dream of water, you must wake up immediately and go to the toilet. Otherwise, you will find disaster in the blanket. Thank you.
When I was young, I think from the age of 2, as young as I can remember, up until the age of 8, it was repeatedly over and over again. I used to have that dream. Specifically, I would have that dream when it was hot. And I would wake up sweating and from this dream. But it was a repetition of the same thing over and over again. And it was a dream that I still could not explain even today for some reason. But I used to dream objects moving, inflated objects. Like I don't know how to explain that dream. And they'll be moving in randomly in a sequence every single time. And this dream stopped. One day, my mother, when she went to Moria, she took us with me and my little brother. And I had that dream, I remember, in a bus in Moria. That was the last time I ever had that dream.
Tabiso from Soweto. Tabo, I don't know. Maybe it's me who don't understand the whole thing of March and March and Afriforum. I think March and March is asking Afriforum to help with the issues of litigation against the states, how to go about it. I think March and March likes the model of Afriforum, not that they'll be working together under the same banner, preaching the same thing. I don't know, maybe it's me who don't understand.
No, I don't think you're far away from it, but the association is also a bit suspect, right? And it's something that needs more interrogation. I don't think that this will be a long distance relationship. I think it will be, they're starting to date, and it may become a little bit serious, even if they are not doing fat and set. It may just be a very interesting relationship. I thought I should give that analogy. Maybe that would help. 21 minutes to 6 o'clock. You are on 702, and the voice notes that came through about dreams, we had asked earlier on, is there a recurring dream whenever you are fast asleep? And what does it mean to you? Do dreams mean anything to you at all? I have been battling with this dream for quite some time myself. I had a friend who was a priest, and he passed on. In my dreams he appears, and then he always tells me that how cruel the devil is. He makes them say mass in hell, and he laughs at them. I don't know what that means, but maybe you do. 072 702 1702. 20 minutes to 6 o'clock.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga, and she's got the very latest for us. Tolagele, hi, good evening.
Evening, Tabo. Miguel Cardoso admits that the winning culture at Mamelodi Sundowns doesn't allow for him to rebuild the squad while delivering subpar performances. They're up against Marumo Gallants in the Betway Premiership this evening, where they're looking to return to winning ways after a weekend draw away to Kaizer Chiefs.
In football, there's no spontaneity generation. It's all due to work and time. Obviously, in Sundowns, time, work, results. Everything needs to be done at the same time. And here and then, obviously, you just get it on the last minutes. You just get it here and then. I think the team has been progressing well. We'll continue to progress. As much stability as we can get through, obviously, recovering players, the best. Some losses will take time, and we need the other ones to get up.
Bernardo Silva has thrown a jab at former Manchester City teammate Rodri by saying playing for Real Madrid is not for everyone. That's after Silva was presented by the 15-time European champions. His comments come after the Spanish midfielder opted to sign for Barcelona, having initially held talks with Madrid with the view of joining Los Blancos. The World Cup winner was presented last night by the Catalans and shared why he left the team from the blue side of Manchester.
Man City for me has been the big part of my career, of course, in terms of football. It's been the city that grew me up as a player, as a person. I think I came as a kid, and I'm going like a real man in all the sense. In terms of football, of course, what I've experienced, of what I live, and I'll always be glad to all the club that decide to buy me in that moment.
Bayern Munich midfielder Jamal Musiala has been diagnosed with a neurological disorder after collapsing during a match for the second time in 4 days. The 23-year-old went down after 6 minutes, having come off the bench in the 4-2 friendly when it had on him last night, and required medical attention before being assisted from the pitch. Musiala posted on Instagram that he's been diagnosed with temporary brief but easily treatable absences that are caused by neurological dysfunction, which have now become a part of his everyday life. Switching over to rugby's greatest rivalry, where the build-up to Saturday's first test between the Springboks and New Zealand at Ellis Park continues. All Blacks defence coach Tana Umaga has shared whether they have a bit of an advantage, having played more recently than the Boks.
No, not at all. This South African side's been together for a long time. They know what it takes to win big matches, and also their game is very solid, and they know what they can rely on. So I don't think there's much advantage.
And Michael Cheika will take over at the Waratahs for the 2027 Super Rugby season, having previously coached them to their first title back in 2014 before moving into international rugby with the Wallabies from that same year to 2019. He was most recently coach of the Leicester Tigers, having also previously coached Argentina. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
With Karabo Charlie, the latest traffic headlines, what's happening on our roads. Karabo?
Well, in Ekurhuleni, heading towards Brakpan, not looking good at all. We still have those roadworks in the Germiston area, causing more than an hour delay now. This is on the N17 eastbound from Wits Rifles to Rondebolt. Jish, there's no really an alternative for you, so I'm afraid you're kind of stuck there. Otherwise, if you can drive through the N3 and use Heidelberg Road and Van Dijk. This is through or via Leondale, and then make your way towards Rondebolt and then rejoin the N17 after Rondebolt Road. There's also bumper traffic in the Klipoki area that's heading into Sunwood Park on Osborne Road between Dekema and Van Dijk. There's slow-moving traffic still driving through Alexandra. This is on the N3 southbound from Marlborough Drive to Van Buren. Leaving Sandton, traffic remains a bit sluggish on Catherine Street between Rivonia Road and Greyston. And in Southgate, traveling towards Soweto, there's traffic pressure N12 westbound between Xavier and the Deep Kloof interchange. If you come across any other traffic issues, kindly WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
You know, there are some bands with very crazy names, music bands, and you're thinking, is this the name of the band? Michael Learns to Rock, I think it was one of them, and the Goo Goo Dolls was one of them, Peanut Butter Conspiracy. Toto is not that bad because I suppose it's not that long, but there are some bands with crazy names, musical bands and artists with amazing names. So we thought we should ask you, if you know any of those bands with crazy names, which songs do they sing? And do you have a favorite song from their catalog? Please share that with us on 072 702 1702, and I'll go straight to your voice notes.
Hi, 702. My band is Panic at the Disco. Shout out, Kale.
Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars but I couldn't make a killing, didn't have a dime but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million, always had high hopes. Mama said, something for oddities, stranger cruises, ain't ever wannabes, winning the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I got one more run, and it's gonna be a sight to see. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high.
Panic at the Disco, who does that? Rather not go out. Well, that's the name of the band, High Hopes, and I asked you, Which band has got the strangest name? And do you have a favorite song from their catalog? Let us know on 072 702 1702. 12 minutes to 6.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
Statistics South Africa has assured consumers will have some relief from rising prices, with fuel expenses expected to significantly
Not at
decline.
all. I'm happy
Latest
to go to
figures show annual
BCCSA
inflation
for that.
eased
I would
from
love to,
5%
please.
in June to 4.3% in July.
The Stats SA data shows one of the biggest positives for consumers was at the petrol station in July. Fuel prices fell 7.8% between June and July, helping to bring transport inflation down to 8.9%. The cost of electricity, gas and other fuels was up 8.3% year on year.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. And not a Mampara. I said goodbye to Mampara week long ago. And I know you're not a Mampara. Say it with me. I'm not a Mampara. Then go play the lotto for just 5 rand so that you're not weak on Mampara week. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sisekaya.
Happiness starts in the garden. It starts with the first herbs you pick for tonight's dinner, the color that welcomes you home after a long day, and the simple joy of watching something you planted begin to grow. Enjoy 25% off all seedling 6-packs and herbs at Stodels, Bryanston and Ferndale. Plus compost 30 DM, 4 bags for 100 Rand. Visit Stodels Garden Centre before 23 August. Stodels, create happiness.
There are 2 kinds of people in spring, people who buy tons of plants and liars. Because plants need friends and a pot and who knows what else. Feed the obsession for less at Chamberlain's Blooming Goods Savings Promotion. Get an assorted 6-cell seedling tray for only 29 Rand and a bag of Colterra compost for 25 Rand while stocks last. Visit your nearest Chamberlain from 13 August to 13 September for friendly service, expert advice, and absolutely everything you need to make your home summer ready. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Double. A band I like with a weird name is called Fink, Fink. My favorite song is Looking Too Closely. I like the music.
This is a song about somebody else. So don't worry yourself, worry yourself. The devil's right there in the details. And you don't wanna hurt yourself, hurt yourself. But looking too closely. But looking too closely. No.
Well, the band's name is interesting enough. It's called Fink, as in Fink. Really interesting name, weird and strange. That's exactly what we're looking for. Bands with strange names and your favorite song from those particular outfits. 072 702 1702.
Hi, Tabo. Happy Wednesday. In terms of songs, I thought of the Pussycat Dolls and their song Don't Ya. That's an appropriate song. I also just wanted to thank you for playing TK's music yesterday. Thanks for keeping her memory alive. Have a lovely evening further. Cheers. Lots of love from London. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Are we about to get it just a little hot and sweaty in this? Ooh, baby. Ladies, let's go. Soldiers, let's go. Let me talk to y'all and just, give you a little situation. Listen. You see the get hot every time I come through. When I step up in the spot, make the place sizzle like a summertime cookout. Proud for the best chick, yes, I'm on the lookout. So banging, shorty like a belly dancer with it. Smell good, pretty skin, so gangster with it. No tricks, only diamonds under my sleeve. Give me the number, but make sure you holler before you leave.
Like me. I know you like me. I know you do. I know you do. That's why whenever I come around, she's all over you. And I know you want it. I know you want it. It's easy to see. It's easy to see. And in the back of your mind, I know you should be on with me. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you? Don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant, brilliant song, and thanks for those voice notes, especially the first one about TK yesterday. Welcome to the show. John is not here, and I know this is your favorite feature. It's mine, definitely, even when I'm not on the show, to hear about different music tastes. Today, we're asking specifically about strange and weird bands, musical bands with weird names. Which songs do you love from them? On 072 702 1702.
Hi, Tabo. I think Bongo Muffin is a weird name.
What
does it mean? I tried to Google what Bongo Muffin means, but can't find much. But yeah, Tati's Group was a great song from them.
Sounds like a Rastafari name, Bongo Muffin, right? Yeah, it is a weird name, but we got somehow used to it, and they've given us amazing music. Amazing music. 4 minutes to 6 o'clock.
Hi, Tabo. My band is the Gorillas, Feel Good. Yeah, that song, when I grew up, I used to listen to it before I go to school each and every day in my high school days. Yeah, that song, it was a cartoon animated song. I used to watch it on TV. I even recorded the music video on my cassette. I don't know what you call it, VCR cassette, yeah. So, yeah, Feel Good by Gorillaz. Can you play a little bit of this song?
You're so creative. I mean, I've got tons and tons of voice notes coming through. We'd love to get more. You're so creative. I had forgotten about all these bands. 072 702 1702.
Good afternoon, Tabo. The band that I can think of, it's in fact a duo that I can think of that has a funny name, is Right Said Fred. They sang the song I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt, Kabelan, Pretoria.
Too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.
remember this song? Even I know this song. Stephen Grootes definitely remembers this song. Too sexy for my shirt, 072 702 1702. I'd love to hear more from you.
Hi, Mr. Shwale. For me, it will be Daft Punk. One more time. Now, dear Lenteflop. Thank you.
One more time.
One more time, and we'll do it again tomorrow between 3 and 6. But for now, between 6 and 8 o'clock, Stephen Grootes. So keep it locked here on 702. Thanks for the amazing response to our requests. Have a good one.
And now, The Money Show.
With Stephen Grootes, live on 92.7 and 106 FM. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And DSTV channel 856.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by Absa Group and DHL Go Trade. African SMEs are now closer to global markets. Good evening. On your Money Show tonight, DRD Gold benefits from higher gold prices and boosts production to boost its earnings. And Nhlanhla Nene, the former finance minister, is on your Money Show tonight. He'll talk about his new role as chair of the Finance and Fiscal Commission. Inflation figures